My superstar wife wanted to see if I was slacking off on daddy duty, so she went behind my back and signed our daughter and me up for a reality show. And here I am, completely letting loose with my little girl while the wife is away. Completely oblivious that my every single move is being broadcast live to the entire internet. What's wrong, baby? You haven't finished your homework? Here, daddy will do it for you. Afraid mommy will find out? Don't worry, sweetie. If you don't tell, and I don't tell, how is your silly mommy ever gonna know? Who could have guessed that a little trick I casually showed off would absolutely blow up the entire internet? Meanwhile, live at the studio for Mom's Not Home, the host, Xiao Yu, was chatting with Ji Yu Yao. Ji Yu Yao, our superstar. Your husband and daughter have no idea they're live right now. Are you worried at all? Ji Yu Yao sat elegantly on the guest sofa, exuding absolute queen energy and intellectual charm with every single movement. Honestly, signing up was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. He always loves to say, things are exactly the same whether the wife is home or not. I trust my husband will take perfectly good care of the house, just like always. He's always been absolutely flawless in that department. Xiao Yu laughed and chimed in. Well, it looks like our superstar is full of confidence. Of course. Ji Yu Yao looked right into the camera, her eyes unwavering. I hope my husband can set a great example for all the stay-at-home dads out there. And if he does mess up, well, then he can serve as a cautionary tale for everyone. So, could you give us a quick introduction to your husband and child? Just so we can get to know them a bit. Ji Yu Yao nodded gracefully. My husband's name is Nuo Shu. We're about the same age. He's not in the entertainment industry. He's actually a full-time stay-at-home dad right now. In my eyes, he's incredibly smart and gentle. He takes absolute perfect care of me and our daughter, so I never have to worry about a thing. At the mention of her daughter, a soft, motherly warmth washed over Ji Yu Yao's face. My daughter, Nuo Xiaoxi, is 8 years old. She'll be starting 2nd grade right after the summer break. She's a sharp, clever little thing. Very energetic and active. If you just looked at her face, you'd think she was a quiet, sweet girl. But her personality is totally like a tomboy. Her grades are absolutely top-notch, but she just hates studying. Honestly, my husband is probably the only person in the world who can keep her in line. After that lovely introduction, Xiao Yu turned to the camera and announced excitedly, I gotta say. Even as the host, I can't wait any longer. So, let's cut straight to the hidden cameras. We've set up all over our superstar's house, and start the ultimate daddy duty live stream. The live feed cut straight to the study. On screen, I was sitting there, patiently helping Nuo Xiaoxi with her homework. But right in the middle of talking, I suddenly froze. I could feel it so clearly. My daughter was exhausted. She was only forcing herself to stay awake because she was scared of me. But hey, I'm someone who was reborn into this life. And I'd already made up my mind. I am absolutely not repeating the mistakes of my past life. In my last life, Ji Yu Yao and I were so obsessed with her succeeding. We practically wanted to teach her trigonometry while she was still in the womb. From kindergarten, through elementary, and all the way to middle school. The pressure we put on her was just suffocating. And the result? She completely bombed her college entrance exams and spiraled right into severe depression. That bright, energetic little girl turned into someone completely silent and withdrawn. She became terrified of everything, completely losing her self-worth. Ji Yu Yao and I regretted it so much, but it was too late. Our marriage shattered because of it. The crushing guilt and grief just made us fight constantly, day in and day out. Ji Yu Yao's career went completely down the drain, too. Our once happy family was gone forever. But now, I've been given a second chance at life. And my mindset has completely, 100% changed. Who cares about getting into an Ivy League school? Who says a pop diva's kid has to be a high achiever? That is all a bunch of nonsense. As long as my kid is kind-hearted, and has a happy childhood, that is more important than anything else. I suddenly grabbed Nuo Xiaoxi's tiny, fragile shoulders and turned her to face me. Looking her dead in the eyes, and said clearly, word by word. She. You are way too exhausted. You need to rest. Nuo Xiaoxi was completely dumbfounded, her big eyes filled with absolute confusion. This had to be a trap. She had a mountain of summer homework to finish every single day. Rest without finishing it? Her strict dad was an absolute monster. I'm not tired, Nuo Xiaoxi mumbled, totally lying through her teeth. There was no way she was falling for her dad's trick. Yes, you are exhausted. From now on, whenever you don't feel like doing your homework, we just won't do it. Nuo Xiaoxi's face was a picture of pure disbelief. Meanwhile, the live chat on the broadcast instantly exploded. This vibe is totally different from what Ji Yu Yao said. Didn't she say he was a strict dad? Why is he telling his daughter to skip her homework? To make Nuo Xiaoxi believe me. I doubled down. Daddy finally gets it now. Putting all that academic pressure on you before just ended up robbing you of a happy childhood. That is a terrible trade-off. You are at the age of pure, innocent fun right now. You should be out having the time of your life. So, don't be afraid to tell Daddy. Whatever you want to play is completely fine. Daddy swears to God, I will absolutely play right alongside you. Nuo Xiaoxi blinked her big eyes and asked cautiously, really? The live chat boiled over once again. Do not believe him. My dad pulled the exact same trick on me back in the day. This is 100% the standard procedure for trapping a kid. This plot is way too familiar. I got my ass beat when I was a kid entirely because of this exact setup. Then, can I play a little bit of Honor of Kings? I immediately nodded. Such a tiny request? Absolutely, let's do it. Daddy will play support for you. We will queue up together as a dynamic father-daughter duo. I will show you the power of the #1 Zhang Kui player in the Tianqi neighborhood. Nuo Xiaoxi was completely stunned. She stared intently into my eyes. Did Dad get possessed by an alien or something? The live chat instantly exploded yet again. The second diva GU leaves the house. This guy completely lets himself go, huh? I honestly never saw this coming. I can't believe Diva Gu's husband is this incredibly goofy and unreliable. Forget about us not buying it. Look, even she herself is terrified to believe it's real. Meanwhile, back in the TV studio, Jiyu Yao gave the camera a forced, plastic smile, grinding her back molars so hard they were about to crack. Nuo Shu, what the hell are you playing at? Is this how you watch our kid when I am not home? Who was the one that said kids needed strict discipline? Who said they couldn't afford to lose at the starting line? And who said playing video games rots the brain? All the female guests on the celebrity panel turned to look at Jiyu Yao in unison. Their eyes were practically glowing with juicy, drama-loving gossip. This doesn't seem to match what you told us at all, right? Weren't we promised a super strict dad? Didn't you say he runs a tight ship with academics? Why is he telling her to ditch her homework and leading a gaming session? Diva GU, you aren't lying to us, are you? Or does your husband just hide his true colors really well? Jiyu Yao felt more unjustly accused than anyone in history. Swallowing her raging fury, she forced a stiff smile. My husband is genuinely never like this. I have absolutely no idea what has gotten into him today. The host, Xiao Yu, living for the drama, stirred the pot. Oh, Diva GU. You can send your husband a message. It's the perfect chance for us to see what he's really like behind closed doors. Jiyu Yao nodded, pulled out her phone, quickly typed out a message, and hit send. The big screen mirrored her text. How is she doing with her homework? But when my reply popped up on the studio's giant screen, everyone in the room was totally dumbfounded. I'm home, what are you so worried about? Her homework has been done for ages. She nailed every single question. Right now, she is practicing the piano, and she's got dance and drawing practice after this. Jiyu Yao was completely petrified. Nuo Shu, how dare you lie to me? The three female celebrities on the panel completely lost it and burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, I can't. I'm laughing so hard I'm gonna toss a kidney stone I've had for 10 years. See that? Men are literally all the same, not a single good one among them. To all my married ladies out there, keep your eyes peeled. Jiyu Yao just wanted to cry, but no tears would come. He's usually not like this. Meanwhile, on the big screen, I shoved my phone in my pocket and flashed a smug smirk. See that? Your mom is so easy to fool. You keep your mouth shut, I keep mine shut. And we can happily duo queue all day long. If I don't carry you to the highest rank today, then I don't deserve to be your dad. My daughter whispered back. Then, what about my homework? I patted my chest confidently. Homework? I'll knock it out for you in 5 minutes flat. Jiyu Yao was gritting her teeth in absolute fury, while the three female stars were clutching their stomachs. Pointing at the screen and telling her, your husband is freaking hilarious. I'm dying of laughter over here. It must be so much fun at your house, Queen Jiyu. Jiyu Yao's blood was boiling. She was fighting the urge to hop on a plane right then and there just to beat the crap out of him. On the live broadcast, Nuo Xiaoxi was desperately trying to convince herself not to trust me. But the urge to play Honor of Kings was just way too strong. Then, should I? Nuo Xiaoxi asked tentatively. I purposely put on a stern face. I remember your mom made you delete the game, right? Go grab your phone and download it again right now. I'll do the homework. Nuo Xiaoxi instantly sprang to her feet. She dashed to the door, then stopped in her tracks, leaning against the doorframe to peek back inside. The live chat suddenly exploded with comments. Yes, love this. Now that is a real dad. Man knows how to solve his daughter's problems. Solve her problems? He is totally setting his kid up for failure, okay? Is he even a fit parent? Letting the kid skip homework is bad enough. But actually doing it for her? To this absolute legend of a dad, all I have to say is, please get me one of those. The studio instantly erupted into another fit of laughter. Hua Xin covered her mouth, looking over at Jiyu Yao. She let out a giggle. Queen Jiyu, your husband is such a child at heart. Looks like he's pulled the wool over your eyes plenty of times. The second you leave the house, his true colors completely show. Jiyu Yao forced herself to keep a straight face, glaring daggers at the screen. She kept praying over and over in her head, my daughter knows better. She'll definitely stop Nuo Shu. But on the screen, Nuo Xiaoxi just gave her homework a curious glance before happily skipping off to grab her phone. At that moment, Ji Yuyao's heart just completely sank. The observer, Fu Qingren, who had been completely silent, finally spoke up. As a child psychology expert and a professor of family studies, I have to point this out. Nuo Shu is completely misleading the child here. He doesn't even deserve to be a father. An 8-year-old child is in the absolutely critical stage of forming their study habits. Once they're led astray like this, it's incredibly hard to pull them back. Video games are just going to take over the kid's entire mind, making her lose all motivation to learn. So, I absolutely do not condone Nuo Shu's behavior. Even if he is Superstar Gu's husband, I still have to step up and call this out. Her tone was incredibly harsh. After saying that, she stared right at Ji Yuyao. Superstar Ji Yuyao, don't you think I'm right? Right now, Ji Yuyao was feeling incredibly torn inside, and she was completely boiling with anger, too. She knew full well that Fu Qingren was just using this to get back at her. During a previous interview, when she was asked some really sensitive questions about her marriage, she completely shut her down. But even though she actually agreed with Fu Qingren's take on Nuo Shu, she just refused to admit it out loud. Like, who gave you the right to lecture my husband? Ji Yuyao scoffed inwardly, but on the outside, she forced out a tight smile. Hey, I completely agree with what Qingren is saying. I really hope you all don't follow my husband's example. That sentence, she practically hissed out through gritted teeth. At this very moment, she really regretted coming on this stupid show. The live chat absolutely exploded at that exact second. What the hell? How dare you say my wifey Ji Yuyao's husband is trash? Who the hell do you think you are, Fu Qingren? Superstar Ji Yuyao definitely came on the right show this time. We finally get to see Nuo Shu's two-faced, hypocritical true colors. I'm the only one who actually deserves Ji Yuyao. Come on, bros, draw your swords. Meanwhile, on the live broadcast feed, a surprisingly wholesome scene was playing out. The game was updating. Nuo Xiaoxi was sprawled on the couch, waiting anxiously, her eyes literally shining with stars. I washed a plate of fruit, set it on the coffee table, and casually asked, "So, what rank are you?" Nuo Xiaoxi looked a little embarrassed and mumbled, "I'm gold 3, 2 stars. But only when you and mom aren't home. Do I dare sneak in a few games?" The second she said it, she realized she had completely slipped up. She looked up at me, panicking. And just as she feared, my face completely darkened. I rubbed my chin, thinking very seriously, man, not being able to play your game and ruining your mood? That's not gonna work. Looks like I'll just have to buy you another phone. At that exact moment, Nuo Xiaoxi was finally 100% convinced that I was her partner in crime. Back in the studio, Ji Yuyao was grinding her teeth in pure fury. She completely lost control of her facial expressions. The live chat blew up once again. Ha ha ha, so rare to see Superstar Ji Yuyao getting mad. Wow, I can totally relate to this. When I'm not home, my husband and son totally team up to lie to me just like this. When I caught them, I beat his ass for 3 days straight before I finally calmed down. I mean, what even are husbands for anyway? Even if I realize my husband actually has a point, I'll still hit him with a, "Why are you yelling so loud?" and then just go right back to beating him. Oh yeah, it's finally done updating. I, the absolute #1 mage of the Tianqi neighborhood, can finally log in loud and proud. Nuo Xiaoxi let out a super excited cheer. She couldn't wait and instantly fired up the game. I just let out a little chuckle. I logged into the game and said, "Don't worry about what your teammates pick. You just lock in whoever you want to play. If I go easy on them, they can call me daddy. 5 seconds until the enemy reaches the battlefield. Please prepare yourselves. All troops, charge." Seeing this, Ji Yuyao's heart skipped a beat. When was the last time she saw her daughter this happy? It felt like she hadn't smiled like that since kindergarten. Xiaoyu smiled to smooth things over. Ji Yuyao, superstar. Honestly, letting kids relax once in a while is perfectly fine. The key is whether the father can guide them to play in moderation. Ji Yuyao nodded slightly. I sure hope so. Hey, come here, quick. Are you not gonna farm this wave? I thought all the mid lane minions were mine. Well, you gotta come over here first. You only get a share of the gold if you're nearby when the minions die. Is that how it works? Nuo Xiaoxi immediately popped her sprint ability. She steered her little dodgy, scurrying quickly toward the mid lane. Wait, don't go that way. Suddenly, a muscle-bound brute jumped out of the bushes. He raised his axe and started hacking at Dodgy like a maniac. Ah, help. Nuo Xiaoxi was scared out of her wits. Just as Dodgy's health bar was about to hit 0, whoosh, a hook flew out with dead-on accuracy. It yanked Dian Wei right under the tower, followed by a stun and a massive ultimate that sucked him in. Dodgy was instantly safe. She stepped right up and unleashed a furious combo. Dian Wei was killed on the spot. But wahahaha, I got the kill. Nuo Xiaoxi was dancing with joy, and I was grinning from ear to ear. Remember for next time, mages can never face check the bushes. My title as the #1 Zhang Kui in Tianchi Heights isn't just for show, right? Nuo Shaoxi nodded enthusiastically. Your hooks are way too accurate. After that, my job was to hook people in. And Nuo Shaoxi's job was to secure the kills. The father-daughter duo had the absolute best time climbing the ranks together. It was simply too much fun. In the live stream chat, can you believe this is the Mom's Not Home variety show? I thought I stumbled into some gaming streamers channel. I don't even play this game, but watching them gets me so hyped. I suddenly feel like this scene is so wholesome. A dad teaming up with his daughter. Playing just like friends. Wholesome my ass. Sure, their game rank is going up, but her school grades are definitely going down. A few hours of fun right now means a whole semester of misery when school starts. Nuo Shaoxi threw her arms around me, gave me a big kiss, and even fed me a grape. Feeling my daughter's long-lost affection, I was so happy I couldn't stop smiling. Back in the studio, Ji Yao didn't see me stop playing. Instead, she watched, completely mesmerized. Hua Xin said with a stern face, "My house, my husband and I would absolutely never allow our daughter to play games like this. It will definitely ruin the child." Fu Qingren nodded in agreement. Kids at this age idolize their fathers the most. A father's behavior sets the ultimate example for them. Ji Yao always prided herself on never showing her emotions, but right now, she felt her defenses crumbling. And this emotional turmoil was actually caused by the very family she was so proud of. Perhaps because Xia Shui was younger and also loved to game. She offered a different perspective. I think Lu Chen playing games with Nuo Shaoxi is actually really sweet. Times have changed, you know. A little entertainment isn't a bad thing. But seriously though, his Zhang Kui hooks are insanely accurate. A burst of laughter instantly filled the studio. Although Xia Shui's take wasn't exactly embraced by Fu Qingren and Hua Xin, it surprisingly won over a lot of the audience. Seeing that the observation panel was about to break into a full-blown argument, Xiao Yu quickly stepped in to smooth things over. The live stream has only been going for an hour. Even our superstar Ji Yao mentioned that Lu Chen is usually nothing like this. Who knows, maybe there's a plot twist waiting for us. Everyone nodded in agreement. Maybe Lu Chen is doing this on purpose. He might be trying to make little Shaoxi get totally sick of gaming. Up on the big screen, my daughter and I were still battling it out fiercely in the canyon. Prince of Lanolin. Ah, it's that Prince of Lanolin again. He's so annoying. Shaoxi, don't panic. It's time I showed you my pure damage Zhang Kui. Everyone in the Mom's Not Home studio never expected the live stream to take this turn. What was supposed to be a wholesome, positive scene of studying and practicing the piano had now turned into an explosive, chaotic virtual battlefield. On screen, my Zhang Kui was going on an absolute rampage, while my daughter, Nuo Shaoxi, trailed right behind me, frantically snagging all the kills. She was screaming in absolute thrill. Back in the studio, Ji Yao was grinding her teeth so hard they were about to shatter. As an A- list superstar, she knew all too well the brutal, cutthroat nature of the entertainment industry. She was currently plotting her transition into a powerhouse entertainment CEO. She originally brought her husband and daughter on this show to pave the way by showing off their intellectual, sophisticated image. But who could have guessed that I would completely tear her grand plans to absolute shreds? Ji Yao was so furious she was practically grinding her back teeth to dust. As a superstar at the very peak of her career, she thoroughly understood the ruthless law of the industry, where the new constantly replaces the old. She was currently attempting to pivot into a female entertainment CEO. She originally wanted to use this show to help her husband, Nuo Shu, and daughter, Nuo Shaoxi, build a smart, knowledgeable, and lively public persona. But who would have thought that I'd rip her plan to shreds? Hua Xin's laughter was the loudest of them all. Superstar Ji Yao, I'm seriously starting to suspect you manufactured this whole contrast just for the drama and ratings. To sacrifice your family's image this much for the show, I've really got to hand it to you. Fu Qingren's words were even more harsh and biting. This is an absolute, catastrophic failure of parenting. He doesn't even deserve to be called a father. If my husband ever dared to act like that, I would have slapped a divorce agreement right across his face. The atmosphere in the studio instantly dropped to freezing point. Ji Yao's face darkened, and the overwhelming, powerful aura of a superstar CEO utterly erupted. Miss Fu Qingren, my family matters are none of your damn business to judge. I am more than capable of providing an excellent life for my husband and daughter. They have absolutely no need to exhaust themselves, just to play the perfect husband, or perfect child, for everyone else. After saying that, Ji Yao let out a cold, mocking smirk. And that is something that I'm afraid you, Miss Fu Qingren, could never possibly achieve. A collective gasp echoed throughout the studio. The live chat instantly exploded. Hell yes, she's so right. At a conservative estimate, Ji Yao makes hundreds of millions a year. Plus another few hundred million from company dividends. If you were pulling in Ji Yao's kind of money, would this even be an issue? Fu Qingren seriously hit a massive brick wall this time. Fu Qingren's face instantly turned freezing cold. I am simply pointing out your husband's mistakes from a strictly professional standpoint. Ji Yu Yao cut her off right there. You call that, pointing out mistakes? Well, then me pointing out that you're incapable of providing for your family is also simply stating a fact. She suddenly stood up, her commanding presence on full display. What exactly is wrong with the way my husband takes care of our child? You all are free to discuss it. If using my husband as an example helps everyone learn a thing or two about parenting, I'm more than happy to oblige. But there is one thing I must make absolutely clear. My husband and my child, other than me, nobody in the world can say a single word against it. The anxious director frantically signaled the host, Xiao Yu, to save the show. Let's not make things so tense in the very first episode. Xiao Yu quickly jumped in to smooth things over. It's perfectly normal for the observation panel and our guests to have a little disagreement. Every family has different needs, after all. Ji Yu Yao prefers a more relaxed vibe, while Miss Fu Qingren places more value on rules and discipline. There's no right or wrong here. Xia Shui and Hua Xin also rushed in to change the subject. Oh, it's already 12 o'clock. Let's see what Nuo Shu is whipping up for Shishi for lunch. That breakfast already had me drooling. I really want to see what other magical cooking skills he's hiding. Ji Yu Yao and Fu Qingren were both smart women. They knew when to drop the subject. Ji Yu Yao immediately broke into a smile. My husband's cooking is absolutely out of this world. Even professional chefs can't compare. Fu Qingren gracefully took the out and played along. I actually agree with that completely. For a husband to have superb cooking skills like Nuo Shu's. The tense atmosphere instantly faded away, and everyone's eyes turned back to the big screen. On the screen, Nuo Xiaoxi locked in her favorite character, Daji, while I picked Zhang Kui to play support. The father-daughter duo was simply a god-tier combo. We pushed our ranks up by over 20 stars in one go. Nuo Xiaoxi was literally dancing with joy. Dad, you're freaking amazing. A quadrat kill with Zhang Kui. 15 kills this match. That was so badass. I put down my phone and gave her a loving smile. See? Dad didn't lie to you, did he? Alright now, it's lunchtime. Quick, tell Dad what you want to eat. Maybe gaming together had closed the gap between us. Nuo Xiaoxi seemed to trust my sudden change in behavior today even more. She cautiously tested the waters. Dad, I know your cooking is the absolute best in the whole wide world, but could I please have some fried street skewers for lunch today? I froze for a second. You mean the ones from those little street carts? The kind they deep fry right on the spot in a giant wok? Nuo Xiaoxi nodded furiously. She instinctively looked around. Once she was absolutely sure her mom wasn't around. She lowered her voice and whispered, one time, while I was waiting for you after school. I secretly took a bite of my classmates. Oh my god, it tasted absolutely unbelievable. Meanwhile, back in the studio, Ji Yu Yao was screaming internally. Please, for the love of God, do not let Shishi eat fried street food. Hurry up and show off the one thing you're actually good at. You're cooking. Just save me some face, will you? The live comments section instantly exploded once again. Doing her homework and playing video games with her is one thing. But eating fried street food is way too unhealthy, right? I bet Nuo Shu is definitely going to shut this down. On screen, Nuo Xiaoxi was staring at me, her eyes brimming with hope. I reached out and ruffled her hair. Having it just this once is totally fine. But you absolutely cannot let it slip when your mom gets home, got it? Nuo Xiaoxi clapped her little hands in delight. I'll just tell her you made braised pork ribs and fish head tofu soup for lunch, with a side of stir-fried cabbage and tomato and egg. Hearing that, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. Smart girl. The comment section flared up with excitement all over again. No way. He agreed just like that? Isn't he spoiling her way too much? Most dads probably wouldn't spoil a son, but when it comes to their daughters, they just can't say no. Plus, fried street food isn't always unhealthy. Some places actually use pretty good oil. I mean, we deep fry stuff at home all the time, right? The guy above me definitely sells fried skewers for a living. Case closed. The audience in the studio chuckled, even though it didn't carry the mocking tone of Fu Qingren and Hua Xin. She was completely baffled. Nuo Shu. I've always been an absolute stickler when it comes to cooking. What the hell is going on with you now? Pushing past her anger. Has my husband been possessed by some ghost or something? The scene suddenly shifted. I told Nuo Xiaoxi to wait like a good girl downstairs, while I headed upstairs to change, getting ready to go out and buy some fried skewers. But the moment I reached the second floor, I secretly made a phone call. Hurry up and fry me some skewers. And make sure you use the absolute best oil, and the healthiest ingredients. Hey, my daughter's craving street food right now, and I was thinking, what if it's completely unsanitary? You're an executive chef at a top-tier restaurant. Don't tell me you can't handle a tiny thing like this. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Seeing this unfold, the live chat exploded with excitement once again. Oh my god, so Nuo Shu had everything planned out all along. Not only does Shishi get the fried skewers she's been dreaming of, He also makes sure it's completely healthy. Now this is exactly how a meticulous dad operates. Who wouldn't completely fall for a god-tier dad like this? Back in the studio, Ji Yao stared at me on the big screen, suddenly finding me a whole lot more pleasing to the eye. See, I told you. My husband would never mess around when it comes to a matter of principle like this. Sha Shui chimed in with a smile. This move really is both incredibly sweet and smart. Hua Xin, however, smirked and played devil's advocate. But what if Shi falls in love with eating fried skewers from now on? You can't exactly trick her like this every single time, right? Ji Yao shot her a slight sideways glance. She swept a cold look over Hua Xin. The old son that Nuo Shu mentioned is the executive chef of a 5-star restaurant near our house. I own 40% of the shares in that place. As long as I feel like it, I can have old son set up a skewer stand right inside our villa. Why would we ever need to trick my daughter? Hua Xin's face instantly turned incredibly awkward. I didn't mean it like that. The live chat instantly boiled over again. I'm seriously done with her. Do you think they can't afford it? Who needs an old hag like you worrying over absolutely nothing? Exactly. Why on earth would they even need to trick their daughter? Just tell her straight up. If our family wants it, we fry it fresh. What's her problem? That nosy, busybody attitude is just way too ugly to look at. On screen, Nuo Shaoxi and I were happily stuffing our faces. This heartwarming scene once again melted the hearts of countless viewers. Logically speaking, the live broadcast should have taken a break right about now, but the comments were completely filled with protests. Some viewers even started a poll, and the option demanding to keep the stream running straight until Shi went to sleep actually hit a staggering 99% of the votes. The chief director, Yujia, was simply over the moon. This S-tier variety show had already drawn massive attention before it even aired. Now, with the live stream completely blowing up just in the first morning, this first battle was won beautifully. And so, with a grand wave of his hand, Yujia ordered. Group 2 goes to eat first, then swap out Group 1. Guests and audience in the studio are free to move around. If you want to eat, head straight to the dining hall. The assistant director, Wang Fugi, was a bit worried. If the big bosses at the station find out, they won't come down hard on us for this, will they? Yuji's eyes bugged out. Who the hell do they think they are? Wang Fugi was instantly dumbfounded. Since when did the chief director get so incredibly hardcore? Yuji sneered inwardly. If this show blows up like I know it will, even the station head will have to turn around and beg me. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ji Yao didn't even dare to step away to eat. The host, Xiao Yu, thoughtfully brought her some sponsor snacks and milk. The live stream was still rolling. Xiao Yu gave a sly smile. Since this is an unplanned surprise broadcast, let's throw in a little bonus segment. Let's have our superstar, Ji Yao, give little Shi a call. Just to check in on his morning, and see what they had for lunch. A sudden sense of dread washed over Ji Yao. The morning's surprise broadcast had already shown her that this guy seemed to be a total master at lying. Alright then, Ji Yao could only reluctantly agree. The live chat instantly blew up again. Man, if I could marry Ji Yao, I wouldn't lie to her for the rest of my life. Not even a single word. Like Nuo Shu is actually gonna tell the truth? Yeah, right, total bullshit. I don't believe for a second that there's a man out there who doesn't lie. Our only hope now is sweet, obedient little Shishi. Let's just hope Shishi was only going along with it earlier. On screen, little Nuo Shaoxi was washing his hands after just finishing his fried skewers. When I saw the caller ID, I quietly whispered to Nuo Shaoxi. It's a call, don't forget what you just promised to say. I picked up the phone and spoke in a totally breezy tone. Hey babe, what's up? Missing me already? You barely just left. Hearing this casually normal tone of his, Ji Yao let out a cold laugh in her head. Did Shi finish all of his morning homework? All done. Didn't I already tell you on WeChat? He knew how to do all of it. I even double-checked it myself. 100% correct. I leaned back on the sofa with the phone on speaker, constantly winking and signaling at Nuo Shaoxi. The kid immediately shot back a look that said, I got this. Live chat below completely lost their minds laughing. Nuo Shu had absolutely no idea that his and Shishi's every single move was being watched like a hawk by superstar Ji Yao. He was even more clueless that the entire internet was spectating him right now. You could literally see it. Ji Yao's rage meter was rapidly filling up again. Just look at her face. Seriously, look at her. Fu Qinren and Hua Xin were laughing so hard that their back molars were practically showing. Ji Yao took a deep, heavy breath, her chest heaving intensely. Trying her best to keep her voice perfectly calm, she asked, let Shishi tell mommy. What yummy food did daddy make for you for lunch? Nuo Shaoxi suddenly froze in his tracks. He immediately panicked. Mommy, daddy made me 4 whole dishes for lunch. It was so good. They were braised gluten, Crucian carp grilled sausage soup, stir-fried chicken fillets, and chicken skewer scrambled eggs. The live chat instantly erupted into explosive laughter. Peeved, Ha ha ha, she is way too funny. Raised gluten, Crucian carp grilled sausage soup, stir-fried chicken fillets and chicken skewer scrambled eggs. How'd I know every single word? But put them together and it makes absolutely zero sense. He just spouted a bunch of total nonsense, but somehow completely exposed the truth anyway. The entire studio instantly burst into roaring laughter. Even the host was clutching her stomach, unable to stand up straight. Even the usually cool and aloof Fu Qingren couldn't hold it in, secretly turning her head away as her shoulders shook uncontrollably. Meanwhile, Ji Yuyao's temples were violently throbbing. Back on the screen, I reacted like a cat whose tail just got stepped on. I sprang up from the couch in a flash, desperately reaching out to cover Nuo Shaoxi's mouth. Shish, shish, shish. You're giving it away. Nuo Shaoxi panicked instantly, stumbling over her words as she tried to explain. I was just joking. Actually, for lunch today, I had braised wheat gluten. No, wait, no. Nuo Shaoxi blinked, her big eyes darting around frantically. Her little brain worked in overdrive. I need to go play the piano. Yeah, play the piano. Mom, let's talk about it when you get back. Ji Yuyao stared blankly as Nuo Shaoxi hung up the phone, and watched on the screen as I grumbled at our daughter. Seeing the utter guilt on Shaoxi's face, she simply couldn't believe it. My sweet, obedient Shishi. How did she learn to be so naughty and lie like that? Hey, Hua Xin's chuckle sounded dripping with sarcasm to Ji Yuyao. Ji Yuyao, honey, speaking as a fellow mother, I really have to warn you. Once a child gets into the habit of lying, it is incredibly hard to break. Fu Qingren chimed in immediately. And if it's done with her father's encouragement or silent approval, the kid will absolutely turn lying into second nature. Ji Yuyao felt too defeated to argue. She just nodded and said, lying is definitely wrong. I'll make sure to sit her down and correct this. Xiaoyu quickly jumped in to remind her, be careful, Pop Queen Ji Yuyao. Our live stream is completely confidential. You can't breathe a word about it even after we wrap up today. After all, we have 4 whole episodes to shoot. Xiao Shui quickly stepped in to smooth things over. Honestly, I don't think we should blow a tiny little lie totally out of proportion. Otherwise, the poor kid might grow up walking on eggshells, terrified of saying the wrong thing. At least, that's exactly how I felt when I was little. Hua Xin and Fu Qingren exchanged a look, not bothering to argue with her. What does a little girl like her know about marriage and raising kids anyway? Ji Yuyao shot her a deeply grateful look, before Xiaoyu asked her next question. Pop Queen Ji Yuyao, during the summer holidays, what does your husband usually have Shishi do right after lunch? Ji Yuyao didn't even hesitate. Usually, right after lunch, he has Shishi take a little nap. Then, around 2:30 in the afternoon, he'll have her practice the piano. Xiao Shui's eyes immediately lit up. Are you trying to raise Shishi to be a musician? Or maybe a famous singer, just like her mom? Ji Yuyao smiled and shook her head. No, not at all. My husband and I really just want her to get into Tsinghua University. Everything else is just to give her some fun hobbies and extra skills. Ah, I see. But honestly, I think your daughter must have inherited your amazing musical talent. It'd be such a shame not to develop it, Zhao Shui said with a sigh. Fu Qingren suddenly cut in. Actually, daughters usually get their genes from their fathers. Boys take after their mothers. Exactly. Hua Xin immediately chimed in. My daughter inherited all her father's best traits. The second she tries to lie, I can see right through her. Xiaoyu picked up the thread. Well then, let's see if Nuo Shu sticks to his usual routine and puts Shishi down for her nap. The live chat instantly blew up with comments. I've totally figured out Nuo Shu's parenting style. He acts like dad of the year in public, but does whatever he wants behind closed doors. There's no way he's making Shishi take a nap right now. But others argued back. Even if Nuo Shu let her goof off this morning, you can't deny he really loves her. He'll definitely make sure she gets some rest. Meanwhile, on the screen, my daughter and I were sighing together, looking absolutely miserable. I rubbed my chin and asked, Shishi, you have been playing all morning. Isn't it time for a nap? Nuo Shaoxi's little face instantly dropped. She ran over, shaking my arm. Daddy, I am really not sleepy or tired at all. Every time I take a nap, it just feels like a total waste of a beautiful day. I pretended to ponder. You make a good point. It really is a waste. Well then, how about you go practice the piano right now? Nuo Shaoxi plopped down with a huff. No way, I gently reminded her, but what about the homework your piano teacher assigned last night? You haven't finished it yet. Nuo Shaoxi's eyes suddenly lit up. Daddy, if I finish my piano homework, record the video, and send it to my teacher, can we play Honor of Kings together this afternoon? The live chat instantly blew up. There is no way he agrees to this, right? That would be way out of line. He definitely won't say yes. Look, Nuo Shu is even frowning. Sure enough, I shook my head. Tell you what, skip the piano homework, and skip the video games too. As much as I want you to have fun, I also have to look out for your health. We do not want you straining your eyes. Ji Yu Yao was having very mixed feelings watching this. Stopping her from gaming to prevent eye strain was definitely the right call. But what did he mean by skipping the piano homework? Nuo Shu, is this how you parent? Meanwhile, on the screen, Nuo Xiaoxi was totally stunned. She blinked her big eyes and started thinking hard. That does not sound right. Mommy said, even though we do okay financially, my piano teacher was super hard to hire. And it costs over $800 a lesson. I immediately put on a proud face. I rubbed her little head. That is my good girl. You already know how important it is not to waste things. Seeing this, Ji Yu Yao finally let out a relieved smile. Her daughter was sensible after all. At least she did not go along with Nuo Shu's terrible idea. However, Nuo Xiaoxi suddenly jumped up and looked at me dead serious. How about this? I will go practice and finish my homework right now. And, you call the teacher and cancel the rest of my classes. We can use the saved money to buy me a brand new phone. And just like you said, you and I can team up and play games all afternoon. The live chat went absolutely wild again. And here I thought this sweet little girl was actually being sensible. I swear, if Nuo Shu actually agrees to this, I am grabbing my 40-foot sword. And helping our pop queen Ji Yu Yao chop him to pieces. Under Ji Yu Yao's furious, teeth-grinding stare, looking like she wanted to murder someone, I actually nodded my head. Well, I am not playing support then. I call the marksman role this time. Right now, Nuo Xiaoxi was sitting properly at the piano in the living room. A beautiful, melodious tune filled the air. The live audience in the studio and the viewers online were all nodding along in approval. Wow, she is playing remarkably well. Ji Yu Yao's face was glowing with pride. Nuo Xiaoxi had made so much progress. Every time I hear her play, I just feel so incredibly proud. The kid is a natural prodigy. She picks it up so fast. Xia Shui nodded in complete agreement. I started learning the piano when I was little, too, but at Xixi's age. I definitely wasn't as good as her. But right at that moment, I suddenly spoke up. Hold on a second. The music stopped instantly. Nuo Xixi looked up, her little face full of confusion. Daddy, what's wrong? I patted my daughter's head affectionately. You played beautifully, Xixi. But, Daddy caught two tiny little mistakes. Xixi's pretty face was covered in invisible question marks. Daddy, you know how to play the piano? How come I never knew that? Watching the monitor, Ji Yu Yao was absolutely stunned. Xia Shui turned to her, dying of curiosity. Pop diva, does your husband actually know how to play? Ji Yu Yao seemed to remember something hilarious. Her lips curling into a smile as she shook her head. How should I put this? If poking the keys with one finger counts as playing, then sure, he can play. The live chat immediately exploded. Peefed. Ha ha ha. I had no idea the pop diva was so funny. What the heck is poking with one finger? My stomach hurts from laughing. If the one finger poke counts, then I am a piano master too. Ji Yu Yao was getting invested now. Her beautiful eyes locked onto the screen where I was looking totally serious. I started to point out the issue. Xixi, there was a slight break in the sound when you just played. Play those two lines for me again. The live chat went wild again. I am literally dying of laughter. I have a feeling Nuo Shu is about to crash and burn. Rubbing my hands in anticipation, Ji Yu Yao and Xia Shui exchanged a shocked glance. Being professional singers, neither of them had heard anything wrong at all. But when Xixi played the section again, they both gasped at the exact same time. There really is a slight break in the notes. Ji Yu Yao looked completely blown away. Such a tiny mistake. Even I didn't catch it, and I am a pro. But he doesn't even know how to play. So how did he hear it? Everyone was instantly completely baffled, staring intently at the screen in pure shock. On the monitor, I gave a serious little nod. Exactly, there is a break right there. It sounds like someone skipping and stumbling while they walk. It's really choppy. I sat down right next to Xixi, explaining as I played the keys. Look at my wrist and my arm. The notes broke because you were way too stiff right here. If you are not relaxed, the sound won't flow naturally. You have to do it like this. Beautiful, completely flawless notes came pouring from my fingertips. If you want the sound to be clear and relaxed, you have to let go of all that tension in your muscles. Holy crap, it really is way smoother after he fixed it. He actually knows how to play. Can you believe this? His own wife didn't even know. This guy was hiding it way too well. She sat there stunned for a second before her eyes totally lit up. She started clapping her little hands in excitement. That sounded so pretty. Daddy, you are amazing. I laughed. Now, the second issue is right here. I purposely mimicked the way she had just played it. Listen closely. The notes here are bleeding together. The first note hasn't completely faded out before the next one hits. The two sounds are just getting muddy. That's because you're lifting your fingers way too slowly. You have to overcome that laziness in your fingertips. Channel all your strength right into the tips. In that very moment, I became the absolute shining hero in my daughter's eyes. Nuo Xiaoxi looked up at me, her eyes completely filled with awe. Dad, you're so amazing. My teacher actually mentioned this exact same issue, but they didn't explain it nearly as clearly as you did. Plus, my teacher said it was fine when I played it like that. Yet you still managed to catch it. Dad, you know way more about the piano than Mom does. I just chuckled. Oh, don't say that. Your mom is the real master here. Come on, give it another try. Just use the method I just showed you. When Nuo Xiaoxi played it through a second time, her progress was honestly incredible. The improvement was just instant. Is teacher Nuo Shu offering classes? How much for a single lesson? I want to book a private lesson with teacher Nuo Shu. I'll pay whatever it takes. This level of expertise is just insane. Meanwhile, Ji Yu Yao was staring blankly at the screen. She could hardly believe her own eyes. Since when did he know how to play the piano? Judging solely by that performance and the coaching just now, his skill level is definitely top tier. A wave of anger immediately flared up inside Ji Yu Yao. What else are you hiding from me? Fu Qingren chimed in with a sarcastic tone. Hey, a married couple living together day in and day out, and yet, they're still keeping secrets from each other. Is he that terrified of you finding out? Hua Xin added with a laugh. My husband tells me absolutely everything, so I honestly just can't wrap my head around why Nuo Shu would hide something like this. Is playing the piano some sort of shameful secret? Hearing this, Ji Yu Yao's face darkened even further. Xia Shui opened her mouth to speak, but this time, she had no idea how to smooth things over for her. Xia Yu quickly stepped in with a smile to save the show. Alright, our fun little segment is back. And for this part, our superstar diva has to pretend to be furious. Just look at Nuo Shu and tell him, I know everything. You had better confess right now. The camera feed instantly switched over. Nuo Xiaoxi was completely focused on the piano. The two of us were just minding our own business, doing exactly what we were supposed to do. I didn't feel guilty in the slightest. Mom's calling. You just keep on playing. Let her hear that everything is perfectly fine here at home. With the soothing piano music in the background, I picked up the phone. Though, Nuo Xiaoxi subtly perked up her ears to listen. Hey, honey. Ji Yu Yao took a deep breath, her expression turning instantly icy. Nuo Shu, I know everything. You had better come clean right now. What else are you hiding from me? I flinched so hard I jumped, and Nuo Xiaoxi's fingers struck the piano keys even harder. She was terrified that wave of anger would hit her next. I'm not hiding anything from you. On the screen, I was stalling for time while my brain was just spinning a million miles an hour. My absolutely ridiculous reaction had the entire studio audience desperately holding in their laughter. They were so scared I'd hear them through the phone. Meanwhile, Ji Yu Yao's fury was practically going off the charts. She did not look like she was acting at all. Nuo Shu, you're seriously still playing dumb at a time like this? I am giving you one last chance. Spill it, right now. Alright, I'll confess. I looked completely and utterly defeated. Looking as if he had completely resigned himself to his fate, Ji Yu Yao sneered inwardly. He is finally about to confess to slacking off while watching the kid. If he dares to leave out a single detail, I swear I will rip his head clean off. You see that? Men just fold the second you scare them. As long as you are a strong woman, and you use this trick to interrogate your husband, you will absolutely get some unexpected surprises. This trick is totally spot on. Last time I interrogated my husband about his secret stash like this. He straight up confessed to hiding 2 of them. I tried asking like this last time, too. And my husband ended up confessing that he swings both ways. I took a deep breath, my voice heavy with guilt. That song you wrote a while back, Fly to the Moon? I secretly tweaked a few of the notes. Ji Yu Yao froze for a second. Which line? The one that goes, fleeing the most dazzling city lights, flying toward the loneliest starry night. Ji Yu Yao's eyelashes fluttered wildly. Her eyes widened in absolute shock. Xiao Yu frantically shot her a look. Ji Yu Yao finally snapped back to reality. That is not what I am talking about. Think hard. What else are you hiding from me? Huh? I gasped, my face a picture of pure agony, realizing I had spilled the beans way too quickly. That necklace I gave you last time. It wasn't actually 140,000. It was 1,040,000. What? Ji Yu Yao was completely dumbfounded all over again. Live chat went absolutely feral. Oh my god, give me a dozen husbands like this. I would not even mind swapping one out every single day. Wait, isn't he a stay-at-home dad? Where on earth did he get that kind of money? Ji Yu Yao demanded sharply. Where did you get that kind of money? I stammered out a reply. My secret savings. Ji Yu Yao felt a sudden burst of sweetness in her heart. But she quickly put her stern face back on. That is still not what I am talking about. What else are you hiding from me? I just blinked at her. And then it suddenly hit me. This was a setup. My 2 lifetimes worth of experience made me immediately straighten my posture. Just give it to me straight. What exactly am I supposed to be hiding? You name it, and I will own up to it. Ji Yu Yao was totally checkmated. And she could not exactly blow the cover that the production crew was putting her up to this. So, she just scowled and muttered, fine, whatever. And she hung up. The dial tone started beeping. Wait, something is not adding up. Knowing her temper, if she was coming at me that aggressively to interrogate me, she definitely wanted to rip me a new one. Why would she just let it drop so abruptly? I immediately fell into deep thought. Is it her time of the month again? The live chat absolutely exploded. Peefed. Ha ha ha. I am literally going to die laughing in this stream. Pop diva Ji Yao and her family are just way too hilarious. Did you guys see that? Even though Shu Nuo has a few little flaws, he is definitely a top-tier husband. Xia Shui's eyes suddenly lit up. Diva Ji Yao, are you talking about that song, Fly to the Moon? I remember Yu Qian from her company sang that one, right? Ji Yao gave a gentle nod. Xiao Yu pressed on with a grin. Oh, Diva Ji Yao. Well, why don't you explain it to everyone, then? Ji Yao pondered for a moment before speaking. That song, Fly Me to the Moon, was actually written by me. It sounds so much smoother and better now. I honestly thought I was just remembering it wrong. Xiao Yu asked, full of curiosity, so, does Nuo Shu write music too? Ji Yao gently shook her head. No, he's never shown any kind of talent in that area. Xia Shui pressed further, then what's the deal with that necklace? Ji Yao reached to her neckline and pulled out the necklace. He gave this to me, for my birthday. At the time, he said it was 140,000, so. I really didn't think much of it. Xia Shui let out a sudden scream. Oh my god, that's the brand new Snow White collection from Hua Xili. It really does cost over 1 million. Whoa, a chorus of amazed gasps instantly erupted across the room. Are godly husbands like this even still in stock anywhere? Help me, how am I getting so jealous just watching a live stream? I mean, even though Nuo Shu is definitely hiding things from our pop queen. Who wouldn't totally understand? Slacking off while watching the kids suddenly doesn't seem like a big deal at all. The female stars on the panel and Xiao Yu all looked completely envious. Especially Fu Qingren, she couldn't help but think about her own husband, and could only secretly pray in her heart. When it's our family's turn to broadcast, please, for the love of God, don't embarrass me. Ji Yao couldn't resist looking back up at the big screen. In the video, I've already taken a photo of Nuo Xiaoxi's piano homework and sent it over to her teacher. Right after that, Nuo Xiaoxi's excited shrieks rang out. Finally, we're done. Hurry up, Dad, let's get our father-daughter duo queue going. I am absolutely hitting the king rank today. And so, for the entire rest of the afternoon, the screen was just filled with the father and daughter's joyful playtime. The in-game banter between him and little Xiaoxi filled the live stream chat with non-stop laughter. Why isn't my milady robot attacking him? He popped his ult. I am so mad. This stupid Shahou done. That character is actually pronounced done, okay? Make sure you remember that. Ji Yao watched the lively chat scrolling by, and then looked back at the happy father and daughter on screen, and completely lost herself in thought. She suddenly realized something. From kindergarten all the way to 8 years old, Xiaoxi had never seemed happier than she did right now, today. It made her start to question everything. Was the way she and Nuo Shu had been raising her really the right way? Pushing a child to study hard isn't wrong, but it seemed like Xiaoxi hadn't really been happy at all. Thinking about this, Ji Yao shook her head again to snap out of it. No, everything I've done has been for Xiaoxi's own good. Fu Qingren suddenly spoke up. I'm saying it again, just to be clear. Nuo Shu is just a completely irresponsible father. He's totally corrupting that kid by letting her rot her brain with games. Once she's hooked, they'll never be able to pull her back on track. Hua Xin quickly chimed in to agree. Exactly, if my husband dared to sit around playing video games with my son like that, I absolutely would not tolerate it. Xia Shui immediately fired back. But Xiaoxi is incredibly happy right now, and they have such a great father-daughter bond. Besides, all her homework is finished. What's the big deal with playing for a bit? Fu Qingren let out a cold laugh. Did you happen to forget something? Nuo Shu did all of Xiaoxi's homework for her. Xia Shui was starting to get agitated too. Xiaoxi is going into the 2nd grade after the summer break. She already knows all that 1st grade stuff anyway. Slacking off just this once really doesn't matter at all. Hua Xin shook her head, completely disagreeing. No, this has nothing to do with grades. It's an attitude problem. Ji Yao could only step in to smooth things over. Doing homework for your kid is definitely wrong. Guys, please don't learn from Nuo Shu. But the vibe in the live chat was completely different. Who cares about all that? As long as I'm having a good time watching, that's all that matters. This family is literally my source of happiness. Doing her homework just once in exchange for a whole day of happiness for the kid. I think it's totally worth it. I just think Nuo Shu is so handsome and gentle, and Xiaoxi is so pretty and adorable. Just watching them is enough for me. Whose husband and kid are ever perfect, anyway? Man, if my husband had even half of Nuo Shu's patience to play with our kid all day, I'd be thanking my lucky stars. Right amidst the father and daughter's joyful laughter, the whole afternoon just quietly slipped away. I cooked up a huge, delicious dinner for Nuo Xiaoxi. After playing hard all day, she ate with such a huge appetite, making everyone in the live chat practically drool. A lot of viewers couldn't help but compare him to their own husbands again. These days, a guy who actually knows how to cook. What more could you possibly ask for? Ah, it's all Nuoshu's fault. My son is practically forcing me to cook every single day now, but I seriously have no idea how. Up Queen Sis, your man is such a perfect husband. I officially announce my voluntary withdrawal from the competition. As night fell, Nuo Shaoxi is still just a kid, after all. Since she skipped her noon nap, she was crashing hard by now. There she was, sitting on the couch watching cartoons, her little eyelids already fighting a losing battle to stay open. That adorable sleepy look absolutely melted everyone's hearts. Even Chi Yu Yao couldn't help but smile as she watched the screen. Meanwhile, I was bending over, busting my back trying to clean up the day's total mess. Seeing this, countless viewers started roasting their own husbands all over again. I turned around and saw Nuo Shaoxi already slumped on the couch, practically passed out. So I gently shook her awake. Shaoxi, you haven't washed up yet, sweetie. Nuo Shaoxi rubbed her heavy, sleepy eyes, pouted her little lips, and whined, Daddy. It's okay to skip washing up just for one day, right? I just wanna go night-night. The live chat immediately exploded with guesses. Nuo Shu spoils his daughter so much. He's definitely gonna give in, right? Oh, he has to say yes. He even did her homework for her. And they played games all afternoon. How could he possibly say no to something this small? But I shook my head. No can do, Shaoxi. Daddy can play with you all you want, but we absolutely cannot get lazy with our good hygiene habits. I gently stroked her head again. A pretty girl like you needs to stay clean. If you go to sleep without brushing your teeth after eating, you'll get nasty cavities. Do you really want yucky little bugs making a home in your mouth? Reluctantly pouting, Shaoxi slipped on her little slippers. Fine, but Daddy has to sing me a lullaby then. Back in the studio, a chorus of amazed gasps instantly broke out. Wow, he actually convinced her that easily? Nuo Shu really knows what he's doing. I think he is completely right. You just can't compromise on matters of principle. That's exactly how you help kids build good habits. If the parents start slacking off and half-assing things, the kids definitely won't take it seriously either. Xiaoyu smiled and turned to look at Ji Yu Yao. Pop Queen, does Nuo Shu really sing Shaoxi to sleep every single night? Ji Yu Yao clearly froze for a second, then quickly shook her head. I don't really know. Shaoxi is just super clingy when it comes to Nuo Shu. So he's always the one putting her to bed every night. I'm usually very busy. Even when I am at home, Shaoxi only ever wants Nuo Shu to put her to sleep. Sha Shui's face was full of admiration. Oh my, Diva, you're just so incredibly lucky. A gentle smile tugged at the corner of Ji Yu Yao's lips. When it comes to raising our child, Nuo Shu really does do a wonderful job. I've never had to worry about a thing. The screen cut to Shaoxi's little princess bedroom. Nuo Shaoxi was lying perfectly in bed, blinking her big, sparkling eyes. She looked up at me, brimming with hope. Daddy, sing Mommy's song for me, please? And you have to sound exactly like her. Mommy hasn't sung to me in such a long time. The scene playing out on the screen made Ji Yu Yao's heart twist with a sudden, sharp pang of guilt. It was true. How long had it been since she last sang a lullaby to Shishi? And since when did her daughter only ever want Nuo Shu to comfort her? A flood of memories rushed back. Whenever Shishi begged for her attention, she'd always brush her off, using work as an excuse. When she was stressed, she would even snap at the poor girl. As time went on, and especially after starting school, Shishi just stopped asking altogether, at the thought of this. But Nuo Shu, he was always so endlessly patient. Sure enough, the me on the screen gently patted our daughter's head. I smiled warmly and said, how about Daddy sings a song just for our little family, Yay, Nuo Shaoxi closed her eyes, a look of pure, sweet bliss on her face. I closed my eyes too, and soon, a tender, soothing melody began to float through the room. Back in the live studio, loud, collective gasps echoed across the room. Ji Yu Yao shot up from her seat in utter disbelief. She stared at the giant screen, absolutely stunned. The livestream chat instantly exploded into complete chaos. Wait, that voice. Is that supposed to be Shishi? Are you kidding me? A rugged, 6-foot-tall man is singing in a little girl's voice? It sounds exactly like her. What kind of god-tier vocal control is that? That's absolutely insane. Wait, what's the name of this song? How come I've never heard it before? Right at that moment, Nuo Shaoxi suddenly peeked her eyes open and stared right at me. My heart skipped a beat. Did I mess up the lyrics? But her big eyes were practically sparkling with sheer excitement. No, Daddy, your voice just now was so cute. You sounded exactly like a little girl. I chuckled and affectionately ruffled her hair. Silly goose, that was your voice. Now, no more talking. Just close your eyes, listen to the song, and go to sleep. I went back to gently patting her, and softly hummed that opening line once again. Daddy, when the sun comes out, does the moon go back home? Livestream chat completely caught fire again. I'm literally the same age as Nuo Shu. So why'd I suddenly want him to sing me to sleep too? Hey, back off up there. I'm ready to just call him Daddy right now. Girl, I'm old enough to be his mother. But honestly, I want him to tuck me in too. Sha Shui's beautiful eyes were as wide as saucers. She had been standing completely frozen ever since I sang that first note. Pointing a trembling finger at the screen, she asked, completely terrified, "What kind of monstrous vocal control is that?" I doubt there are even a handful of singers in the entire music industry who could pull that off. Did you seriously have no idea he could do this? Ji Yu Yao looked just as bewildered. I swear, I had absolutely no idea. Back on the screen, I smoothly transitioned into the second verse of the song. It started with that same, incredibly lifelike little girl's voice. Until suddenly, a tender, beautiful woman's voice gracefully joined in. When summer comes, the studio instantly erupted in gasps of amazement. On the screen, the back and forth singing continued to play. Sha Shui let out a sudden shriek. Oh my god. Isn't that the pop diva's voice? Holy crap, it really is. It's the voices of Shi, Nuo Shu, and the pop diva all singing together. This song actually features their whole family of 3. It has to be an original, right? I've searched everywhere and I can't find this song at all. Hua Xin and Fu Qingren exchanged a look. Their eyes were filled with worry. Not only did Nuo Shu help with homework, take care of the kid, and play games, he also showed off some amazing dad skills. And now, his incredible singing voice was blowing everyone away. And it was even an original song. This was putting a ton of pressure on them for the next 2 episodes. What if their husbands really ended up looking bad in comparison? Sha Shui was so excited her voice went up an octave. Original. It is absolutely an original song. I can't find it in the copyright database at all. Hua Xin frowned and shot back. But even Ji Yu Yao didn't know Nuo Shu could sing and write music. Could he have written it at her company? Ji Yu Yao shot that down immediately. No way. Impossible. He has never stepped foot in my company, and I've certainly never brought a song like this home. Sha Ling was even more certain. Then it's definitely an original. Don't forget, he even rearranged the Diva's song before. The live chat was going absolutely insane. What's the big deal? Why is an original song bothering your precious Hua Xin so much? Is it really that hard to admit someone else's husband is talented? Seeing that the live stream was about to end, boo-hoo-hoo, I don't want to say goodbye to Papa Nuo Shu. I strongly request they move the camera to the bathroom. I want to see Nuo Shu take a shower. Amidst a sea of praise directed at me, the live stream slowly came to an end. Sha Shui was still reeling from the shock, urging Ji Yu Yao to make sure she got the original track as soon as she got home. After watching the entire stream, Ji Yu Yao's emotions were on an absolute roller coaster, going from confident to frustrated, and then from furious to completely shocked. She only had one question left in her mind. Nuo Shu, just how much are you hiding from me? Alright, that is a perfect wrap for the first episode of Mom's Not Home. I'm sure everyone felt the warmth of family through Nuo Shu and Shi. Next time, we'll be heading into the home of Best Actress Hua Xin, to see how her husband handles taking care of the kids. See you all in the next episode. With that, the show ended. Sitting in the car on her way home, Ji Yu Yao stared out at the flashing neon lights passing by the window. Her mind was a total mess of emotions. She was annoyed with me, disappointed that her daughter had lied to her, and incredibly anxious about having to face the cameras again so soon. After all, the production crew still needed to film some behind-the-scenes footage of her arriving home. Her assistant, Xia Yi, turned around from the passenger seat and smiled. Sister Yao, your husband and Shi are totally winning over the fans. I couldn't stop grinning the whole time. Ji Yu Yao forced a tight smile. It was surprising, and also, never mind, it's nothing, really. Xia Yi laughed and said, my mom always says, men are just boys who never grew up. Deep down, they're always going to be kids at heart. Especially innocent. Ji Yu Yao's eyes flickered. Is that really true? At 10 o'clock at night, Ji Yu Yao pushed open the front door. The house was spotless and brightly lit. At that moment, I was sitting on the couch, watching TV. A hot cup of tea was steaming right in front of me. As soon as she got home, no matter how late it got, he would always wait. The house was always spotless. You must be exhausted. Let me rub your shoulders. I smiled and leaned in to ask. Ji Yu Yao just shook her head. She subconsciously glanced at the hidden camera in the corner. Sigh. It's been a long day. Come sit and talk with me. She sat down and patted the empty spot next to her. I froze for a second. Then I raised an eyebrow with a wicked smirk. Oh, I get it. You want some kisses, don't you? Ji Yu Yao's face flushed red. Watch your mouth. I shamelessly leaned over and wrapped my arms around her. Resting my chin on her shoulder, I teased, come on, we're an old married couple now. Ah, be serious for a second. Ji Yu Yao pushed my head away. She acted disgusted on the outside, but her heart was filled with pure sweetness. She suddenly remembered Xia Yi's words. Men are just boys at heart, no matter their age. Sigh. Wasn't this his own unique way of showing love? Let me ask you something. Did you ever study music before? I nodded, looking incredibly proud. I was the center lead singer of the Sandy Elementary School choir. I puffed out my chest triumphantly. Ji Yu Yao didn't know whether to laugh or cry at his goofy posture. Then in middle school, I was the music class representative. In high school, I played the harmonica and guitar. And in college, just to chase after you, I even went out of my way to learn the piano. So you did learn it? I nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, I learned it. But then you became a massive pop star. How could I dare show off my amateur skills in front of you? Then did you ever learn how to write songs? I shook my head, looking completely baffled. You work all day, come home, and ask me this? Ji Yu Yao's heart skipped a beat in panic. Knowing she had been way too direct, she hurriedly changed the subject. Was she a good girl today? My face darkened instantly. In the past, whenever I was home. Since when did you ever care about me this much? But today, you've been texting and calling non-stop, and now you're specifically asking. Just terrified that I'd be a bad influence on your precious daughter, huh? No, it's not like that. She waved her hands frantically in denial. But right at that moment, Ji Yu Yao's phone suddenly rang. Shi's mom? I just listened to Shi's piano assignment. It is absolutely the best playing I have ever taught. Technique and emotional delivery are practically professional level. Have you been secretly getting her private tutoring? Hanging up the phone, the cloud of suspicion in Ji Yu Yao's mind grew even heavier. Did you teach Shi how to play the piano? I curled my lips in a disdainful scoff. TCH, with my pathetic little skills? She could probably teach me a thing or two. Ji Yu Yao was so frustrated she almost exploded. She knew perfectly well it was him. So why the hell was he being so incredibly stubborn? How about we go sit in the media room for a bit? Her eyes darted around mischievously. I really want to hear you sing today. I stared at her blankly, reaching out to feel her forehead. What is wrong with you today? You're a literal pop diva. And you want to hear a total amateur like me sing? Did you hit your head or something? Ji Yu Yao swatted my hand away. No, I didn't. Today I saw a cute younger guy singing to a girl. Even though his singing wasn't that great. But the vibe he had, damn. It was so damn alluring. How about we both go wash up? Nuo Shu. Ji Yu Yao gritted her teeth. I leaned into her ear and blew gently. I'll get all clean and wait for you in there. Ji Yu Yao's body instantly went soft. All her raging anger vanished in an instant. Then, I'm going to take a shower too. I jumped 3 feet in the air with excitement. Alrighty then, time for a wild ride. Before I even finished speaking, I bolted straight into the bedroom. Ji Yu Yao's face instantly turned bright red. She took a sneaky peek at the camera. She stomped her foot in frustration. Why couldn't I just hold back? Damn it, I didn't even get to ask a single thing I wanted to ask. The next day, Shi woke up and didn't see her mom. The little one. I smiled and handed her a card. On it was Ji Yu Yao's elegant handwriting. Baby, mommy got home too late and had to leave too early. I'm so sorry, but mommy secretly gave you a bunch of kisses. Love you. Shi's face immediately lit up with a huge smile. Her big eyes curved into little crescent moons. Mommy seems different now. She cares about me way more than before. It would be so great if I got a card from mommy every single day. I gently rubbed her little head with affection. Don't you worry. Daddy will definitely let mommy know. Meanwhile, in the studio of Mom's Not Home, Xiao Yu kicked off the show with tons of energy. Good morning, my dear viewers. Today, we are welcoming our second family, Best Actress Hua Xin. Before we start the live feed, let's first take a look at last night's exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of our superstar Ji Yu Yao returning home. Ji Yu Yao's heart instantly leapt into her throat. The production crew wouldn't do a crazy edit on this, right? On the screen, her completely spotless home drew gasps of admiration from the audience. But right after that, their voices started playing. I get it. Your time of the month just ended. You want to get a little close to me, don't you? Come on, we're an old married couple now. Plus, we haven't done anything in 2 weeks. Oh my god, can you just be serious for a second? The flustered and embarrassed look on Ji Yu Yao's face in the video was exactly the same as how she looked right now in the studio. She looked like she wanted the ground to swallow her whole. Meanwhile, the me on the screen was flashing a wicked grin. But my eyes were completely full of love. The live comments instantly exploded. Peeved ha ha ha, save me. If I had a gorgeous wife like Ji Yu Yao, why would I even go to work? I'd just stay home and make babies all day. Nuo Shu being all annoying but sweet is just too addictive. He acts just like a big kid begging for some candy. Let go of that superstar and let me have a turn. I'm not a decent guy anyway. That opening clip was like a comedy bomb, completely blowing up the entire studio with laughter. Once the laughter died down, Xiao Yu stepped back up to the mic. Now, let's invite Hua Xin to introduce her family, and then we'll kick off today's live feed. Hua Xin stood up with total confidence and flashed an elegant smile right at the camera. My husband, Shen Qing, is a general manager at a corporation. He puts a massive amount of focus on developing our child's skills in every single area. He is the absolute perfect role model for our son. My boy, Shen Zimo, is 9 years old. He gets excellent grades, and he's so much more mature and wise than other kids his age. The live chat instantly started buzzing about Best Actress Hua Xin's husband. Wow, he sounds so high class and amazing. Peeved, they were just trashing Ji Yu Yao's family a minute ago. Now it's her turn and she starts bragging. But the moment the screen lit up, everyone in the studio was absolutely dumbfounded. Chen Zimo was kneeling on the floor, his face covered in tears. Chen Qing sat there smoking with a dark scowl on his face. Hua Xin's smile vanished in an instant, her face turning completely pale. She completely stiffened and stammered out an awkward explanation. Please excuse this. The boy must have made a really terrible mistake this morning. The live chat instantly exploded. What kind of unforgivable crime could a 9-year-old kid even commit? What the hell? What century is this? Who still makes up kids' meal as punishment? Is that even his real dad? Didn't she literally just say he was supposed to be a role model? And here he is puffing away on a cigarette like he's some arrogant lord. Suddenly, a loud snort echoed out. An incredibly poorly timed burst of laughter echoed through the studio. Everyone's eyes instantly darted toward the observation panel. Fu Qingren was fighting for his life trying to hold back a laugh, while Xia Shui's shoulders were shaking so hard she looked like a phone on vibrate. And Ji Yu Yao, well, she had just laughed out loud. She quickly slapped a hand over her mouth. I am so sorry. It's just that, this footage compared to what Best Actress Hua Xin just said. The contrast is just way too funny. Hua Xin forced down her boiling rage, glaring at Ji Yu Yao with eyes like ice. Pop diva Ji Yu Yao. Kids need to be strictly disciplined. I firmly believe my husband has a perfectly good reason for this. At the very least, he doesn't do his child's homework for him. So please, everyone, just have some patience and keep watching. Little Yu quickly jumped in to diffuse the tension. Alright, let's keep watching the screen, everyone. Let's see if we can find those rare, shining moments of Chen Qing's parenting. The footage switched. Chen Qing sat there with his legs crossed, blew out a puff of smoke, and shot a freezing glare at Chen Zimo. Do you know what you did wrong? Chen Zimo flinched, his whole body trembling in fear. He stammered out through his tears, why yes. I know. Chen Qing coldly pressed on. And what are you supposed to be doing right now? Chen Zimo stuttered nervously. My homework. Chen Qing's eyes immediately shot wide open in a fierce glare. Then what the hell are you still standing there for? The camera zoomed in for a close-up. The handwriting in Chen Zimo's notebook was an absolute disaster. It was riddled with mistakes. The live chat instantly blew up again. You've got to be kidding me. This is completely different from the genius child Hua Xin was just bragging about. Compared to the homework he usually shows off, this is literally leagues worse. Isn't it completely normal for a kid to hate doing homework? The dad is acting like the boy dug up their ancestral graves. Is it really necessary to punish a kid like this? Suddenly, a voice broke through. Dad, I finished it. In the footage, Chen Zimo looked up with an excited face. Then pack it up, his dad grunted. Chen Zimo cautiously asked his next question. Dad, can I play on my phone for a little bit? Without even lifting his head, Chen Qing waved him off. Go on, play with it. Just stay out of my hair. Chen Zimo let out a massive cheer of excitement, and immediately ran over to grab his phone. Back in the studio, there was a dead silence. Nobody dared to say a word and risk pissing off Hua Xin. She desperately tried to explain herself. My husband is just incredibly busy, but I promise you, he will definitely check that homework. He absolutely must be handling important work business right now. But, as the camera zoomed in on her husband, the big screen clearly broadcasted Chen Qing's phone screen, and everyone's expressions instantly turned incredibly awkward. Ji Yu Yao remarked with a cool, nonchalant tone, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely scrolling through videos of hot girls dancing, right? Deep down, Ji Yu Yao was absolutely loving this. She turned to look at Fu Qingren. Professor Fu, as an education expert, what's your professional take on this? Keep in mind, Fu Qingren and Hua Xin were pretty tight, having already formed a little alliance before the show even started. But with Ji Yu Yao putting her on the spot like that, she was suddenly completely backed into a corner. Chen Qing's approach is definitely inappropriate. Punishing a child by making them kneel just because they didn't do their homework right away causes massive psychological damage to the kid. Plus, smoking right there in the living room is just terrible for their health. And if he's just doom scrolling on his phone instead of actually checking the homework, the child is naturally going to copy that exact behavior. Hua Xin desperately tried to swallow her rage, shooting Fu Qingren an absolutely vicious glare. What the hell are you doing? Aren't we supposed to be on the same side? Fu Qingren glared right back at her, her eyes screaming sheer helplessness. What do you expect me to say at this point? I can't exactly lie through my teeth and tell everyone your husband is doing a great job, can I? I still have a career to think about, you know. Meanwhile, the entire morning broadcast had been painfully boring. Chen Qing was glued to videos of hot girls, while his son, Chen Zimo, was completely lost in his video games. Viewership had absolutely tanked, plummeting from over 2 million down to less than 500,000. The director looked like he was about to throw up. Xiao Yu, who had been sweating bullets all morning, finally stepped in to save the dying show. Alright, it is time for our fun interactive segment. Now, to our fabulous Best Actress. Hua Xin. We'd love for you to give your husband a call right now. Hua Xin nodded eagerly. She quickly whipped out her phone and dialed his number. Up on the big screen, everyone saw Chen Qing glance at the caller ID. He immediately scowled, muttering, "Why the hell is she calling me all day long? Acting like a damn parole officer checking up on me. So freaking annoying." Hua Xin was absolutely stunned. Is this really how you act? When I'm not around, the live chat completely exploded once again. No freaking way. Hua Xin is literally always bragging about how madly in love she and her husband are. But this looks like a completely different story. Meanwhile, look at Ji Yu Yao. She never even tries to show off. But Nuo Shu's love for her is literally overflowing through the screen. The gap between these two couples is just massive. And honestly, watching this family's stream is boring as hell. Second Chen Qing finally answered the call. His sickeningly sweet, fake voice echoed throughout the entire studio. "My sweet, sweet wifey. It's only been a few hours. But I miss you so much." Best actress Hua Xin suddenly found that all her award-winning acting skills were completely failing her. Trying desperately to keep her voice steady, she managed, "Honey. How's Samo doing with his homework this morning? Did you get a chance to check it?" Chen Qing's eyes were still glued to the video of the dancing girls, his face looking incredibly annoyed. But his tone was absolutely dripping with fake sweetness. "Oh, baby, Samo has been such an angel this morning. He knocked out his homework super fast, and did an amazing job too. I've checked over every single page. 100% correct. Don't you worry at all. You know I'm staying right on top of our boys' studies." The live chat instantly started scrolling like absolute crazy. Bro, if I wasn't literally watching this stream right now, I totally would have fallen for Chen Qing's absolute bullshit. This guy is insanely manipulative. He literally lies without even blinking. Give this man an Oscar already. This two-faced behavior is making me sick. I can't take it. Please, I'm begging you, switch the camera back to Nuo Shu's house. Hua Xin couldn't exactly explode on camera, so she just had to bite the bullet and keep playing along. What's the plan for lunch? You know Samo is a growing boy. Gotta make sure he gets his nutrients. Chen Qing brushed her off casually. Don't worry, honey. I hired a professional nutritionist to design a custom meal plan. I even got a private chef to come over. It'll be perfectly balanced, meat and veggies. It'll definitely give our boy exactly what he needs to grow. Hua Xin knew very well that Chen Qing couldn't cook to save his life. She figured this was for the best. At least it made them look good on camera. So she reminded him again, "Hubby, please pay a bit more attention to Zemo. Don't just bury yourself in work. Our kid needs us to be there for him while he's growing up." Chen Qing's tone grew visibly impatient. Yeah, I got it. Stop nagging me. I know what I'm doing." The moment he hung up the phone, Chen Qing couldn't even hide the sheer disgust on his face. So freaking annoying, questioning me about every little thing all day long. Did she hit early menopause or something? The live stream comments immediately exploded. I can't believe he'd talk about his own wife like that. That is way out of line. Look at Nuo Shu. He treats Ji Yu Yao like an absolute queen. Compared to him, Chen Qing is just pure trash. What kind of kid is a dad like that gonna raise? Hua Xin stared at the screen full of backlash, and hurriedly explained to the camera, No, it's not what it looks like. You guys are totally misunderstanding him. We always joke around like this at home. He didn't mean anything by it. But the audience wasn't buying a single word of it. The comments section remained a sea of suspicion. Just then, the doorbell rang. The so-called private chef arrived with the ingredients. Chen Qing immediately jumped up to boss him around. Watch what you're doing. Every single pot and pan in my house is imported. Why are you so clumsy? My boy is at a crucial age for growing. If you dare to mess up his lunch, I'll make you regret you ever stepped foot in here. Lunch was served in no time, and every single dish looked like an absolute masterpiece. But Chen Zimo took one look and scrunched up his face. I don't want this stuff. I want fried chicken and fries. Chen Qing's already foul mood instantly blew up. He screamed right in Zimo's face. Are you freaking kidding me? You're eating this, or you're starving. The studio instantly erupted into an uproar. The live comments went absolutely crazy. This guy is pure trash. Swearing right in front of his own kid? So much for Hua Xin's perfect husband routine. He literally just screams to parent his child. Zero patience whatsoever. He's light years behind Nuo Shu. Hua Xin stared at her husband on the screen, feeling like she was looking at a complete stranger, the color draining from her face. She was so humiliated she wished the ground would just swallow her whole. But the real nightmare had just begun. On screen, Chen Qing finished his meal, didn't even bother wiping his mouth, and immediately flopped onto his bed to scroll through videos of hot girls. Barely a minute later, deafening snores echoed through the room. The camera cut to Zemo's bedroom. Taking advantage of his dad passing out, he sneaked back onto Honor of Kings and started yelling, "Stop stealing my freaking daji! What the hell? Where's my team? Are you guys all dead or what? Holy crap!" The live comments instantly blew up again. What is wrong with this kid? He's got such a filthy mouth. If my son ever acted like that, I'd slap the taste right out of his mouth. The viewers were left in absolute shock, and the screen was flooded with pure mockery. Hua Xin flushed bright red with embarrassment, feeling like she had just lost absolutely every ounce of her dignity. Qingren watched this total train wreck unfold, her heart sinking. Tomorrow is my family's turn, she thought in a panic. Oh god, we absolutely cannot end up like Hua Xin. Ji Yu Yao, on the other hand, leaned back comfortably, a smug little smirk tugging at the corners of her mouth. Compared to the sweet, heartwarming moments with her own Nuo Shu and Qi Shi, this was pure entertainment for her. She was absolutely loving it. With a mess like this, she actually had the nerve to criticize my Nuo Shu? She scoffed, deliberately stirring the pot. Miss Fu, are you not feeling well today? Why so quiet over there? Fu Qingren's face instantly darkened. She glared at Ji Yu Yao with obvious displeasure, but Ji Yu Yao just gave her a playful, mocking smile. What are you looking at me for? Ji Yu Yao teased. Right now, as our resident child psychology expert, shouldn't you step in and give us a little critique? Seeing the viewer count absolutely tanking, the host, Xiao Yu, desperately tried to save the show. Miss Fu, would you like to share some advice? Qingren had no choice but to bite the bullet and grab her microphone. I strongly disagree with Chen Qing's approach to parenting. Picky eating and video game addiction are very bad habits. Parents must step in and correct them immediately, instead of just letting the child run wild. And as for the swearing, that kind of environment will definitely leave emotional scars on a child. Parents need to pay close attention and intervene right away. As soon as she finished speaking, she quickly sat back down, not daring to say another word. The live stream instantly became incredibly boring, and the viewer count just fell off an absolute cliff. It plummeted to a pitiful 200,000 viewers. Director Yujia looked like he was going to explode. What the hell is Hua Xin doing? He yelled. And what's wrong with her husband? Why is he acting like such a deadbeat? The assistant director, Wang Fugi, just looked completely exasperated. Who knows, man, Hua Xin hyped her family up so much in the beginning. Who could have ever predicted it would turn into a total disaster like this? Back in the studio, Hua Xin was squirming in her seat. She had completely run out of excuses. But no matter how silver-tongued she was, with her husband and son being so utterly useless, there was no way she could salvage her crumbling reputation now. By this point, the live chat was going absolutely crazy, with everyone spamming to bring Nuo Shu and Nuo Shaoxi back on the stream. Ji Yu Yao was trying so hard to hide her massive grin. Still trying to act like the perfect family? She thought, I didn't even have to lift a finger, and you're already finished. I guess it's true, putting us side by side just makes you look incredibly pathetic. Your husband and son are basically dealing critical hits to your career. Following the script, Xiao Yu frantically tried to regain control of the show. Alright, let's have Best Actress Hua Xin give her husband another call, she said, just to see how things are going over there. Hua Xin's heart was pounding out of her chest as she nervously bit the bullet and dialed his number again. On the big screen, a groggy Chen Qing lazily glanced at the caller ID, then impatiently rejected the call. And rolled right back over to sleep. Hua Xin's face instantly turned dark with absolute fury. A deadly silence fell over the entire studio. Finally, Director Yujia couldn't take it anymore. This is a disaster. We've lost all the momentum we built up in the first segment. Cut the feed, right now. Hearing the order in her earpiece, Xiao Yu let out a massive sigh of relief. This job is absolute torture, she thought. The first segment went so smoothly, I actually thought this show was going to blow up. But this second one, it's just way too hard. Regaining her composure, she announced, Alright, viewers. That concludes the live broadcast for Best Actress Hua Xin's family. Later, on the ride home, Hua Xin sat in the back of her Maybach, looking absolutely livid. Even as they pulled up to her house, she was still taking deep breaths. Don't get angry, she muttered to herself. You still have to stream tomorrow. Just, stay calm, stay calm. But the second she walked through the door, she saw a table piled high with dirty dishes. Just then, Chen Qing stumbled out of the bedroom, rubbing his sleepy eyes. He froze, locking eyes with her terrifying, ice-cold glare. He was so scared that he started stammering, unable to even form a complete sentence. Honey, how come you're home so early? Was Zemo a good boy today? How's he doing on his homework? Did you check it? He didn't sneak on his phone, did he? This barrage of questions completely threw Chen Qing off. What was up with his wife today? But he quickly pulled himself together and just blurted out. He did it, I checked it, and no phone. Zemo was an angel today. The words had barely left his mouth when Zemo's roar echoed from the bedroom. Zhang Kui, you piece of garbage. Chen Qing's face instantly dropped. Honey, listen, I can explain. Hua Xin's temper instantly flared up. But remembering tomorrow's livestream, she forced herself to swallow her rage. Go take his phone away. And bring me his homework so I can take a look. Chen Qing was even more dumbfounded. She actually didn't blow up? Was this even his wife? Okay, I'm on it. Chen Qing bolted into their son's room. A second later, ear-piercing wails erupted. He walked back out holding the workbook. Before he could even hand it over, he flipped it open, and the chicken scratch on the pages left him totally speechless. What the heck is this garbage? Meanwhile, backstage at the studio, the host, Xiao Yu, clutched her chest, her heart pounding with anxiety. She silently prayed, even if Fu Qingren's family couldn't hold a candle to Ji Yu Yao's. Please, just don't let them be a train wreck like Hua Xin's family. Xiao Yu quickly composed herself. Pasting on a professional fake smile, she walked onto the stage. Good morning, my dear viewers. Today, we welcome our third family to the show. The live chat immediately blew up with comments. Not interested, I only want to see Nuo Shu. This woman looks like someone owes her money every day. Who does she think she is? Some child psychology expert she is. She almost scared my own son to tears yesterday. Don't even get me started. My kid threw a tantrum all day yesterday demanding I play Honor of Kings with him. I feel you, bro. I'm literally smacking my kid right now. He plays Zhang Kui and can't even land a freaking hook. Hello everyone, I'm Liang Jichao's grandma. I just wanted to ask, what is this place? My Jichao says I play Daji like a total noob. He told me to come here and learn from the little kids. Xiao Yu stared awkwardly at the flooding comments. Dear viewers. Hua Xin instantly tensed up. Would the production crew really air absolutely anything just for ratings? Ji Yu Yao, on the other hand, casually slumped into the sofa, looking completely unfazed and totally in control. She put on a look of utter indifference. The broadcast feed slowly faded in. The first thing to pop up on screen was a slice of life from Hua Xin's home. How was Zemo's behavior today? Did he do a good job on his homework? Have you checked it? You didn't let him sneak on his phone, did you? He finished it, I checked it, and I didn't let him play. Zemo was incredibly well behaved today. The netizens instantly erupted into a chorus of boos. But the very next second, a furious roar blasted from the screen. Zhang Kui, you piece of garbage. The sheer volume had the entire live audience roaring with laughter. Thank God the clip was cut right there. The video editor broke out in a cold sweat. Xia Shui was holding back her laughter so hard she was physically shaking. Seeing the viewership steadily climbing, the directing team finally breathed a sigh of relief. The live chat was entirely flooded with demands for Nuo Shu to return. The host, Xiao Yu, hastily stepped in to do damage control. Next up, let's take a look at a clip from our pop diva, Ji Yu Yao's home. The camera cut, showing Ji Yu Yao just stepping through her front door. The door was pushed open from the inside. Mommy, welcome home. Nuo Xiaoxi jumped out from behind the door with joy, throwing her arms wide open as she ran into her embrace. Ji Yu Yao felt a sudden lump in her throat. She was usually so busy she barely had time to breathe, and she could hardly remember the last time she hugged her daughter. Nuo Shu leaned against the doorframe, offering a gentle smile. This little one insisted on waiting up for you to get a piggyback. Ji Yu Yao hugged her daughter tightly, her heart aching with love. The little girl snuggled into her mother's neck, cooing softly. I actually fell asleep just now. Daddy was the one waiting by the window for Mommy to come home. She looked up, catching the hidden exhaustion in Nuo Shu's eyes. A sweet rush of pure happiness instantly filled her heart. In the live broadcast room, the comments section absolutely exploded. Oh my god. This kind of man is basically a public execution of my own husband. It's so frustrating to compare them. Comparison is the thief of joy. Compared to Nuo Shu, that Chen Xing is nothing but a giant man-child. Hua Xin wished she could just find a hole to crawl into and hide. How did she manage to catch a stray bullet even here? Xia Shui gazed at Ji Yu Yao with absolute adoration. Ji Yu Yao, please, you have to teach me. How on earth did you find such a perfect husband? Please share your secrets. Sure thing, I'll keep an eye out for you next time. We can figure it out together. On the screen, the heartwarming scene continued to play out. Ji Yu Yao pushed the door open and walked in. The house was spotless, as always. Freshly washed laundry hung on the balcony, and a pot of delicious-smelling porridge was keeping warm on the dining table. Nuo Xiaoxi puffed out her little chest, beaming with pride. Daddy said Mommy works way too hard at her job, so he made this special love porridge just for you. And I helped too. I lovingly rubbed my daughter's little head. That's right, Xiaoxi was a huge help to Daddy today. Is that so? Ji Yu Yao walked over to the table and sat down, while I casually served her a bowl. Smiling, I nudged her. The temperature is just right. Eat it while it's hot. Millet porridge is low in calories. I promise it won't ruin our superstar's perfect figure. Just then, Nuo Xiaoxi tugged at her mother's shirt, leaning in to whisper a little secret in her ear. Daddy is fibbing. He actually had to reheat this porridge like a million times. Ji Yu Yao was instantly overwhelmed with pure joy. She always worked so desperately hard for her career. She couldn't help but glance toward their daughter's bedroom, watching me patiently coaxing the little one to sleep. Any lingering stress from her day completely melted away. This man was always silently protecting their family. Marrying him was, without a doubt, the smartest decision of her entire life. Back in the studio, the heartwarming scene brought tears to quite a few eyes. The final minute of the footage showed the moment Ji Yu Yao left for work. As always, she left a little note on the desk. She, thank you for the porridge. Mommy loves you. After writing it down, she gently kissed the sleeping little girl and headed out. But the second she closed the door, I noticed that Nuo Xiaoxi had been awake the whole time. She was hugging the note, giggling to herself. Looking at my quirky little girl, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Oh, so you were awake this whole time, you little rascal. Nuo Xiaoxi let out a mischievous giggle. I was scared that if I woke up too early, Mommy wouldn't write me a little note. And she wouldn't give me my goodbye kiss. I gently ruffled her hair. Alright, go back to sleep for a bit. Daddy will wake you up when breakfast is ready. Okay, thanks, Daddy. Everyone thought the segment was going to end right there. The scene completely melted the audience's hearts, and a massive wave of comments instantly flooded the screen. Oh my goodness. Raise your hand if you want to team up and steal this adorable kid. By the way, does anyone know what color Sakshi she prefers? There's no comparison. Next to Nuo Shu, that Chen Xingjin is totally just here to make up the numbers, right? Hua Xin rolled her eyes in sheer annoyance. Why is this getting dragged back to me again? Seriously, is it ever gonna end? The host, Xiao Yu, beamed with joy and handed over the microphone. She is just the sweetest little angel. Xiao Yu completely ignored Fu Qingren, treating her like thin air. The smile on Fu Qingren's face instantly froze. Ji Yu Yao gracefully took the microphone and gave a warm, gentle smile. Honestly, I feel quite guilty. I'm usually so busy with work that I end up neglecting my child. Nuo Shu handles absolutely everything at home. My only real parenting secret is just trusting him unconditionally. The live stream was instantly flooded with a massive wave of comments. Every time I watch the Diva's family routine, just want to drag my own husband over and smack him. Now this is the cozy life we all dream of. I wonder how things are at the self-proclaimed expert Fu Qingren's house. I really hope we get a different kind of surprise later. Fu Qingren's husband is up to his neck in debt out there. I bet he doesn't even dare to breathe too loudly at home. More like he has zero status. Nuo Xiaoxi's brilliant performance maxed out the show's entertainment value. The previously dropping viewer count started skyrocketing crazily, leaving the chief director, Yujia, grinning from ear to ear backstage. Meanwhile, the viewers, fresh off that heartwarming scene, were now eagerly waiting for the camera to cut to Fu Qingren's house. Some were even deliberately stirring the pot. Comparing Nuo Shu to her husband, Ma Da, Xiao Yu clicked over in her high heels and stopped right in front of Fu Qingren. She smiled and offered the floor. Next up, let's have Ms. Fu tell us a bit about her husband and their precious little one. Right after that, we'll cut straight to their live feed. Fu Qingren slowly raised her microphone, instantly radiating the commanding presence of a professional host, to ensure absolute perfection on camera. She had scheduled every single minute down to the second, making absolutely sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Flashing a textbook perfect smile at the camera, she began introducing her husband, Ma Da, to the audience. He also inherited his father's incredible musical talent. He is absolutely obsessed with all sorts of instruments. The public chat instantly exploded with fiery debates. Ma Da's singing is just okay, I guess. But his acting is super cringy. I honestly don't see what's so amazing about him. Ma Da actually used to be pretty mind-blowing on the piano back in the day. Wonder if his kid is just as badass? I am so totally pumped for this. When the live broadcast feed officially cut over, the entire screen was practically oozing with an elite, artsy vibe. The living room walls were decked out in famous paintings and calligraphy, while every corner was filled with a wide variety of musical instruments. The live stream audience immediately started buzzing again. Can't wait to see this, experts, home vibe. Just look at how meticulously everything is set up. Being a parent is seriously no joke. They put so much thought into this. Agreed. You can totally tell Ms. Fu went all out on the details. A lot of those on the wall are famous masterpieces, right? Man, how much does a room full of art like that even cost? The host, Xiao Yu, looked completely fascinated. Ms. Fu, your home's decor is incredibly unique. Could you walk us through it in a bit more detail? Fu Qingren smugly tilted her chin up, shooting a sideways glance right at Ji Yu Yao. In our family, we place immense value on a fully well-rounded education. Music, chess, calligraphy, painting. We don't skip a single one of the fine arts. Her words were practically dripping with venom. The blatant sarcasm and hostility were written all over her face. Every single pair of eyes in the room instantly darted over to Ji Yu Yao. Xia Shui hurriedly stepped in to smooth things over. She praised how Miss Fu's home was filled to the brim with master-level collections, proving how much heart she put into her child's education. The arrogance on Fu Qingren's face was practically overflowing. But of course, take that unassuming little violin in the living room, for example. Not only is it exceptionally rare, its tone is absolutely irreplaceable. A small wave of commotion suddenly rippled through the audience. Then, frowning deeply, he shook his head, muttering that something just wasn't right. In the control room, Director Yu just slapped his thigh in a panic. This was a legendary maestro in the music world, an absolute walking click magnet. He frantically roared into his headset. "Quick, get a mic over to Master Xiao." Master Xiao Shank took the microphone and cleared his throat. The live chat instantly exploded. A violin with an astronomical price tag like that? Like hell Fu Qingren could ever afford that. It's definitely a cheap knockoff. I bet she got totally scammed and played for an absolute fool. Bro, let me give you the inside scoop. It's not just the violin that's fake. 99% of those paintings on the wall are fakes too. Don't ask me how I know. I literally work in this industry. Wow, no wonder. So she has the cash to keep up appearances, but no money to pay off her debts? Seeing the chat totally spiraling out of control, Fu Qingren shifted in her seat, sweating bullets. The control room was a total madhouse too. Nobody expected such a massive live broadcast disaster. Xiao Yu rushed to do damage control. Well, Teacher Fu isn't exactly a professional appraiser, after all. It's perfectly understandable if she accidentally bought something of lower quality, but her pure intention to create an artistic environment for her child is definitely worth praising. Let's get back to the live feed from the house. The camera cut back to the living room, but strangely, the massive living room was completely empty. Xiao Yu shot a confused glance over. Fu Qingren herself looked completely baffled. Mada never said anything about going out today. The crew immediately switched the feed to Ma Xiaoqiao's bedroom. The kid was wide awake, hunched over his phone in bed, furiously mashing the screen. What the hell? Zhang Pui's hook has got ice this round or something. Dodgy, you're so freaking annoying. Get out of my way. Dead again, he furiously slammed his phone down, and started ruthlessly punching his pillow. The corner of Fu Qingren's mouth twitched uncontrollably. Her chest heaved with rage. All those endless warnings she gave him last night. This brat didn't listen to a single word. The camera quickly panned over to Mada's bedroom. He was lounging around on his phone too. And faintly, from the speaker, came the heavy, suggestive breathing of a woman. The live chat erupted into an absolute tsunami. Wait, aren't I supposed to be watching a parenting show? Why did this broadcast suddenly get so spicy? Of course my Bluetooth headphones die right at this exact moment. How the hell am I supposed to explain this noise to my mom? Wah, you guys are just joking around, but I literally just got slapped in the face by my mom. Scared the absolute crap out of me. Xia Shui flushed beet red and buried her face in her hands, screaming internally. I'm just a singer. Can somebody please tell me what kind of face I'm supposed to make right now? Suddenly, Ma Xiaoqiao's furious roar blasted through the livestream. Mada, I'm starving. Hurry up and give me something to eat. Mada jolted in panic and scrambled up from the bed. Xiao, are you hungry? I want a burger, potato chips, and french fries. But, didn't your mom say you have to eat nutritional porridge in the morning? Ma Xiaoqiao instantly lost his mind. He grabbed a pillow and chucked it straight at Mada's head. You useless loser. Just do what I freaking tell you. That woman isn't even home right now. A dark, vicious glint flashed across Mada's eyes, but he instantly forced a sickeningly sweet smile onto his face. Okay. I'll order it for you right now. The second he pulled the bedroom door shut, the smile completely vanished from his face. He just gritted his teeth, letting out a furious, low growl. Who's the damn father here, you or me? Mada muttered. What the hell are you yelling about? Came Ma Xiaoqiao's impatient voice from the room. Mada's expression changed instantly. He pinched his throat and replied in a high-pitched, sweet voice. Oh, nothing. I'm just calling KFC to order some food. He turned around and aggressively locked his phone screen, uttering curses under his breath. Eat. That's all you know how to do. Aren't you starving? Hope you starve, you little brat. The live stream chat exploded once again. Holy crap, this father-son duo is absolutely wild. Now I've seen it all. First time seeing a dad act like a literal servant to his own son. Monkey see, monkey do. Just look at how the mom treats the dad. The kid just copies her. Just goes to show how bossy Fu Qingren is at home. Ha, I'm dying, guys. What kind of chaotic family is this? I strongly demand we switch back to the diva's house. Who even wants to watch this trash stream? Fu Qingren's face was as dark as a thundercloud. The other guests exchanged awkward glances. The atmosphere in the studio instantly dropped to freezing, and the viewer count was plummeting. Seeing things go south, Xiao Yu quickly jumped in to save the show. How about we move on to the next segment? Let's have Miss Fu call her family live. What do you say? The moment Xiao Yu finished speaking, Fu Qingren impatiently dialed the number. A loud ringtone echoed through the live stream, but it wasn't coming from the phone in Mada's hand. It was coming from a hidden identical phone he pulled from under the bed. And the caller ID prominently flashed two massive words. The shrew. Mada groaned. Why the hell is this crazy woman calling again? She just won't leave me alone. He answered with a look of pure disgust, but a second later, his voice switched to a sickeningly sweet and flattering tone. Oh, honey, my beautiful wife, what made you think of calling me all of a sudden? Do you have any new top secret orders for me? M.A.D. Fu Qingren let out a deafening roar of rage, making Xia Shui and Ji Yu Yao jump out of their skin next to her. She was absolutely fuming, ready to explode. You've got a lot of nerve, Mada. Hiding at home watching trash videos is one thing, but you actually dared to keep a secret burner phone behind my back? On the screen, Mada's knees buckled. He nearly collapsed to the floor in pure terror, quickly groveling as he tested the waters. Wifey, what's wrong? Who on earth made you so mad? Suppressing her blazing rage, Fu Qingren interrogated him. Mada, what time did you two wake up today? And did Xiao Chao actually finish his homework or not? Did you even check it? And what's the plan for lunch? Everything's going exactly to your plan, honey. We were up bright and early at 7 a.m. sharp. Our boy did a fantastic job on his homework. I double-checked every single page, flawless. And I'm personally cooking him a massive feast for lunch. Don't you worry about a thing. Live stream chat instantly went completely out of control. Bro lies so smoothly, it's an art form. His poker face is unshakable. I've decided, we need to give this year's Oscar for Best Actor straight to Mada. It's a damn crime if this acting doesn't win an award. Who said Mada can't act? I'd be the first to fight them on that. Fu Qingren, however, just coldly issued her orders. Fine, when I get home, I'll be inspecting Xiao Chao's homework line by line. After lunch, you will make him practice the piano. Record a video of it and send it to me. Mada bowed and nodded frantically to the screen. Consider it done, honey. Put your mind at ease. I'll execute my mission perfectly. No shortcuts, I promise. Fu Qingren hung up the phone, sensing the weird vibe in the studio. She quickly put on an awkward smile to smooth things over. Sorry for the embarrassment, guys. It's usually not like this at home. Maybe Mada's just been in a bad mood lately. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of Ji Yu Yao's lips. Leading by example is key, you know. Could it be that Miss Fu is a bit too bossy at home? Making the kid show zero respect for his dad? I'm just giving some objective advice here. I hope you keep that in mind, Miss Fu. Fu Qingren was grinding her teeth in anger, but forced herself to look perfectly calm. Thank you for the advice, Queen Ji Yu. My kid is actually very well behaved most of the time. Mada must have just lost his mind today and triggered him. The live chat on the screen exploded with comments again. Someone at this level is supposed to be a child psychology expert? That is the biggest joke of the century. I mean, seriously, if I ever dared to call my dad by his full name, my dad would have smacked me with his shoe right then and there. Hey, the guy above me. That's pure slander. Absolute slander. I'm a civilized person. Since when do I go around smacking people? The camera cut back to Mada's house. Right after hanging up, he viciously smashed his phone onto the floor. He started cursing in an absolute rage. That damn toxic witch. What an old hag. Damn it. If I didn't need you to back up that contract, would I have to put up with all this crap? As soon as the words left his mouth, Ma Xiaoqiao violently kicked the bedroom door open and screamed, Mada. Where are my fries and burgers? Did you buy them or not? Mada quickly turned around, squeezing out a pathetic, subservient smile. They're on the way. Ma Xiaoqiao slammed the door shut with a loud bang, looking totally pissed off. Mada's grand meal turned out to be just takeout. Seeing this, Hua Xin suddenly felt that Nuo Shu was a much better parent. Look at Nuo Shu, at least he knows to hire a private chef. But this Mada, he literally just orders takeout for his kid. Barely finishing his meal, Ma Xiaoqiao tried to sneak back into his room. Mada hurried over, trying to kiss up to him. Xiaoqiao, your mom wants you to practice the piano. Come on, let's practice for a bit, yeah? Ma Xiaoqiao just rolled his eyes at him. She's not even home, why does she care? Mada was out of options and had to play the Fu Qingren trump card. But your mom said I have to record a video to show her. A clear flash of fear crossed Ma Xiaoqiao's eyes. He muttered reluctantly, alright, I'll go practice, okay? He barely set up the sheet music before slamming his hands randomly on the keys. That absolute ear torture made the live chat instantly explode. Help, what did my poor ears ever do to deserve this? Bring Shishi back, that kid actually sounded like an angel. Mada's face turned completely green. He actually sent this video to his wife. He'd get torn to shreds. Xiaoqiao, can you please take this seriously? Your mom is going to be so mad if she sees this. Ma Xiaoqiao completely lost his temper. Don't you know how to edit? Just mute the video and put some music over it, duh. It's not like she actually has the time to listen closely. With that, he threw his hands up and stormed off. "Stop annoying me," Mada shouted frantically from behind. "You haven't even done your homework yet. Your mom is going to check that too." Ma Xiaoqiao fiercely threw the door open and hurled all his books out into the hall. "Just do it for me. Problem solved. You're so annoying. I've got to go practice my game." Back in the studio, you could hear a pin drop. Xiao Yu was so furious her fists were clenched tight. First it was Hua Xin, and now Fu Qingren. Seriously, what on earth is wrong with these celebrity parents? Jia Shui hit the nail right on the head. "Miss Fu, little Xiaoqiao is certainly a pro on his phone. But faking videos and lying? That's definitely not something a kid should be learning." Hua Xin immediately chimed in with her own savage jab. Nuo Shu was just helping his kid relax, but this one is straight up demanding someone to do his homework. Fu Qingren stared in absolute shock as her ally, Hua Xin, suddenly turned against her. Hua Xin guiltily looked away. "Hey, you didn't exactly help me when I just begged you. So why on earth should I help you now?" Ji Yu Yao just shook her head helplessly. This plastic sisterhood really just shatters in a second. After watching these two families, she suddenly felt that Nuo Shu and his daughter were absolute angels. Was she just pushing too hard normally? Was she demanding way too much from Nuo Xiaoxi? She couldn't keep lying to herself. No way. She decided it was time to change. She needed to spend way more time with her kid. By the afternoon, the live stream's views were totally tanking. Ma Xiaoqiao had locked himself in his room to play video games. And Mada just got hung up on by the director while begging for more screen time. Seeing the traffic hitting rock bottom, Xiao Yu rushed in to save the show. Teacher Fu, how about we video call Mada and see what he's up to over there?" Fu Qingren was a million times against this idea. Calling him right now would be total public humiliation, but the dramatic effect for the show would be off the charts. She had no choice but to bite the bullet. Just before the call connected, on camera, Mada was still cursing his head off. "Why the hell is this crazy woman calling me now? So annoying." But the second it rang, his face instantly changed. "Honey, what can I do for you?" Fu Qingren's face instantly went cold. Shouldn't Xiaoqiao be practicing his piano right now? Why is it so quiet over there? Is he slacking off again? Mada broke into a total cold sweat. Well, Xiaoqiao just got tired from practicing, so he's taking a little break. "I'll have him play for you right now." He covered the phone and bolted for the door. "Xiaoqiao, get out here, quick. Your mom's checking up on us." Ma Xiaoqiao yanked the door open with a scowl, shot Mada a nasty glare, and slowly dragged himself to the piano bench. And the moment he started playing, it was absolute noise pollution. Fu Qingren exploded on the spot. "Mada, is this really how you watch our kid when I'm not home?" But right then, a sneaky idea popped into her head. This was the perfect chance to totally crush Nuo Shu. "Mada, play a song for me right now." Fu Qingren's voice was full of absolute authority. Mada completely froze, even though he was professionally trained in music. He hadn't practiced in years since entering showbiz. "Honey, I haven't even touched a piano in years. I said play, so you play. Cut the nonsense." Fu Qingren's voice instantly spiked into a screech. Mada's hand was shaking like a leaf as he held the phone. Finally, he caved. "Fine, I'll play." "Okay, honey, I'm playing it right now." A smug smirk crept onto Fu Qingren's face. Her voice lifted with pure pride. "My husband graduated from Shangjing Music Academy, you know. Playing the piano is an absolute piece of cake for him. He tutors Xiaoqiao all the time." But looking at Mada's face, which looked worse than if he were crying, the live comments instantly blew up the screen. "Isn't it super obvious she's just trying to challenge Nuo Shu?" Sure, Mada went to music school, but honestly, it's anyone's guess who would actually win. Plus, his vocal skills are seriously solid. If he debuted right now, he'd totally break the internet. On screen, Mada was trembling as he finally pressed down on the piano keys. The melody of Moscow Nights awkwardly stumbled out. But very quickly, music legend Xiao Shank raised his microphone and cut right to the chase. This is literally the most basic practice piece for toddlers learning piano. But the moment the words left his mouth, the entire livestream exploded over Mada's super embarrassingly amateur mistake. Xiao Shank furrowed his brows in deep disapproval. Something feels completely off here. The fingering on that last scale was just outrageously wrong. Mada realized he'd completely blown it. In that moment, he just mentally collapsed. His fingers were shaking like a leaf, and then the notes just turned into a total, chaotic mess. Even people who didn't know the first thing about music were wincing. The live chat was going absolutely insane, comments practically bursting out of the screen. "How do you butcher a beginner-level song? Is his so-called talent just a total joke? A top university in Shangjing produced this level of talent? Wow, what an absolute embarrassment. Bring me a piano. I could literally stomp on the keys and it'd still sound better than him." Now, Fu Qingren didn't know much about music either, but just looking at everyone's faces, she knew things had gone terribly wrong. The anger just flared right up in her chest, and she shrieked right through the screen. "Mada, what the hell are you doing?" On camera, Mada physically jumped at her, yelling. Shrinking his neck back, his face red with embarrassment, he tried to defend himself. But that was so long ago. I haven't practiced in forever, so I'm really rusty. And anyway, my main thing is vocals. The piano is just extra. Hearing this, Fu Qingren finally snapped back to reality. His voice was his real asset. So, her mind racing, she quickly barked an order. Then hurry up and sing something. Give us that one song. 1,000 Miles. Hearing this, Ma had completely turned to stone. 1,000 Miles was Ji Yu Yao's legendary, god-tier cover song. The pitch and vocal skills required for it were just ridiculously high. A normal person wouldn't even dare to try it. Mada's expression right then was an absolute picture of misery. But on second thought, he was just showing off for his wife, right? So, he just went for it. Alright, honey, I'll sing it right now. He ripped open his vocal cords and practically started screaming, the 1,000 miles of distance since you left me. My world instantly turns to black and white. That single wail absolutely blasted the live chat away. Help me, that literal howl almost sent me to the grave right then and there. I'm getting major flashbacks of the whole village gathering for a funeral banquet. Bro, give us a price quote. From now on, you're hired for every funeral in our village. Xiao Sheng's face turned completely blue with anger. He flat out chucked his microphone right behind him. Xia Shui was desperately covering her mouth, trying so hard to hold in her laughter and maintain her public image. Ji Yu Yao just facepalmed, looking completely helpless, but even she couldn't stop herself from bursting out laughing. I gotta say, Ms. Fu, your husband certainly tries very hard. Hua Xin didn't even bother hiding it anymore. She literally sat in her chair and honked like a goose from laughing so hard. Fu Qingren's face darkened, and she shot her a vicious glare. On the other end of the line, Mada still had absolutely no idea that doom was approaching. He even whined in this cutesy, annoying voice, begging for praise. Honey, what did you think? Didn't I sound incredibly charming just now? But before he could even finish his sentence, the flawless goddess persona she had worked so desperately to build was completely destroyed by Mada in an instant. Tens of thousands of viewers instantly dropped out of the live stream. The two directors were practically jumping up and down in absolute panic. Seeing the viewership about to completely crash and burn, they quickly ordered Xiao Yu to cut the feed. Alright, all you wonderful viewers out there, today's live stream has come to a perfect end. We'll be back right on time tomorrow for episode 2. And with that, the comments on the screen exploded all over again. Finally, tomorrow, I'm gonna be right here on time to watch my goddess and her little cutie pie. I am literally begging on my knees for the great Nuo Shu to bless us with a song. Or wait, am I the only one here sitting and waiting? For Nuo Shu's god-tier gaming skills? The host, Xiao Yu, gently clapped her hands together. A voting poll suddenly popped up on the screen. Parent-child games are the ultimate tool for family bonding. We've prepared some special challenges for everyone. Come on guys, hurry up and cast your votes for Ji Yu Yao's family. A whole list of talent show options instantly scrolled down the big screen, all designed to show off their personal charm. Xia Shui's eyes went wide and round as she suggested, hey, how about we stick to singing? She grabbed Ji Yu Yao's hand, pleading. Ji Yu Yao, Nuo Shu and Qi Shi both have incredible voices. I am so desperately waiting to hear them sing. Ji Yu Yao smiled and replied, let's see what the viewers choose. I'm really looking forward to it too. The live chat was instantly flooded with wild enthusiasm. Goddess Xia Shui and Queen Ji Yu Yao have spoken. Come on guys, let's go. Vote for the singing performance. I just made a second account. Girls, I can cast 2 votes. I'm going all in for our guy. Nobody stop me today. Anything for my wife and daughter's performance. Rallied by the 2 superstars, the votes for the singing performance skyrocketed. It quickly crushed all the other options. Heck yeah, Xia Shui excitedly made a huge hand heart. Thank you all so much for your support. Ji Yu Yao also flashed a gentle smile. Thank you all for loving Qi Shi and Nuo Shu. Once we confirm the original rights for this song, I'll officially release it on behalf of the company. I hope you'll all support it. Xia Shui suddenly squeezed right into the camera frame. She raised one arm high in the air. Ji Yu Yao immediately caught on, and raised her own arm to match. The 2 gorgeous stars beamed at the camera, completing a giant heart together. The live chat instantly went completely insane. Ah, my goddess just made a heart for me. I can die happy. I knew it. My goddess totally loves me. Screenshot saved. I'm making this my desktop background right now. Gonna stare at this all day. Damn dude, you're way too fast. I downloaded it too. My trifold phone finally has the perfect wallpaper. Hua Xin and Fu Qingren exchanged dark looks. Those 2 completely stole the spotlight. It's so infuriating. Meanwhile, back at home, Nuo Xiaoxi and I had just finished an intense gaming session. She rubbed her little tummy, looking up at me with absolute puppy dog eyes. Blinking those big, watery eyes, she whined, Daddy, I'm hungry. I checked the time, and affectionately ruffled her hair. I already texted Mommy. She's coming home a bit early today. What does my little Shishi want to eat? Nuo Xiaoxi's eyes darted playfully. Daddy, we had skewers yesterday. Can we please have hot pot today? My smile instantly froze. My incredibly strict wife, Ji Yu Yao, had an ironclad rule about eating light for dinner. If she found out we were having heavy hot pot tonight, the consequences would be catastrophic. Is it too hard, Daddy? Nuo Xiaoxi tugged on my fingers, her adorable little lips forming the biggest pout. Seeing the absolute hope in my daughter's eyes, I gritted my teeth and went for it. Not at all. It's no problem at all. Yay, you're the best, Daddy. Nuo Xiaoxi immediately flashed a victorious grin. I kept a smile on my face. But inside, I was weeping. Keeping a little girl happy is serious work. Later that evening, Ji Yu Yao finally came home. The second she opened the door, I pulled her right into a tight hug. Honey, you're finally home. This sudden burst of affection left Ji Yu Yao completely bewildered. Before she could even process it, I had practically scooped her up into the bedroom. Nuo Shu, what are you up to? Ji Yu Yao eyed me suspiciously. Nothing at all. I quickly waved my hands in denial. I wanted to run something by you. About what? Ji Yu Yao's curiosity was piqued. How about, we have hot pot tonight? I hugged Ji Yu Yao's arm and started buttering her up. Please, honey, pretty please? Didn't I say I wanted something light for dinner? Why the sudden craving for hot pot? Well, I just got a sudden craving for it. I scratched my head guiltily. Ji Yu Yao stared at me with a questioning look. She instantly figured it out. It wasn't that she hated hot pot. It was just the wrong time for it. And there was no way Nuo Shu didn't know that. The only person who could make him beg for hot pot was Nuo Xiaoxi. Sure, Ji Yu Yao actually agreed without a fuss. What? I thought my ears were playing tricks on me. You said yes? You really mean we can have hot pot tonight? Ji Yu Yao nodded. Hot pot has both clear broth and spicy soup bases. I can just eat from the clear broth, can't I? I was so thrilled that, without another word, I planted a huge kiss right on her forehead. Honey, you are the absolute best. Don't worry, all the ingredients were sent over by Old Sun. They're 100% organic, healthy, and pesticide-free. After saying that, I shouted toward the door. Shishi, get ready to eat. We're having hot pot today. Nuo Xiaoxi had actually been eavesdropping at the crack of the door the whole time. Hearing her mom agree, she immediately jumped for joy. I love you, Mom. Ji Yu Yao's eyes lit up. She waved at Nuo Xiaoxi. Shishi, come here for a second. Nuo Shu, go get things ready. I need to have a little chat with Shishi. My heart dropped. Was Ji Yu Yao really going to, right before dinner, assign our daughter more homework? I couldn't let my little girl's good mood get ruined. Honey, what could you possibly need to say behind my back? Just say it right here in front of me. Ji Yu Yao raised a single eyebrow. Tonight's hot pot is officially cancelled. I chickened out in a split second. Daddy really tried his best, kiddo. Nuo Xiaoxi shuffled over to her mom's side. Her little body was completely tense. She was always a little scared when she was left alone with her mom. Don't worry, Mommy. Shishi promises to be good and finish her homework, and practice the piano really hard. I promise I'll get high marks on my tests. Ji Yu Yao was taken aback for a moment. Looking at her nervous little girl, she suddenly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Shishi, what's gotten into you? Of course Mommy believes you. But we're not talking about schoolwork today. She gently pulled her daughter into a hug. Last night, when I came in to tuck you in, I heard you humming a little song. Melody was just so lovely. She gently patted Xiaoxi's head. What song was that, sweetie? Nuo Xiaoxi scratched her head, looking a little shy. That's a song Daddy taught me. It's called, The Lucky Family of Three. Ji Yu Yao's beautiful eyes immediately lit up. Really? Could you sing a little bit of it for Mommy to hear? Of course I can. Nuo Xiaoxi smiled so happily that her eyes turned into little crescent moons. When she finished the song, Ji Yu Yao's face was absolutely glowing with surprise. Aside from her sweet, childish voice, Shishi had perfectly nailed the vocal techniques, too. To be able to sing like that after only a few days of learning. This kid really put her heart into learning it. Nuo Shishi danced around, showing off excitedly. Mommy, Daddy specifically taught me this song. Oh, so it's a special song just for our family of three? And does Daddy sing it well? Nuo Shishi nodded her little head vigorously. Daddy sings it super well. A thought suddenly sparked in Ji Yu Yao's mind. Wouldn't this be absolutely perfect for completing the show's hidden mission? She smoothly crouched down to her daughter's level. Then Mommy is going to give you a very important mission. Tomorrow, I want you to sing this song with Daddy. And record a video of it to send to Mommy, okay? Really? Do you like this song too, Mommy? Ji Yu Yao affectionately booped her on the nose. As long as it's Daddy and Shishi singing it, Mommy will always love it.